Ahoy, crypto pirates! Welcome to your Discourse Syndicate, Captain RG3. I got a new set of headphones, and I don't know if they're working or not. I can't hear a damn thing, but I heard a little bit of nils there. How'd you guys like nils? Pretty cool, huh? Oh, let's see. So, sounds coming through okay? You guys can hear? Somebody let me know in the chat, because I can't hear a damn thing anymore. But supposedly these are good. Yeah, I know, but they're props. So maybe, hey, come on, they're shutting everybody down anyway, right? Aren't we? Isn't that what's going on right now? Isn't crypto in all kinds of crazy trouble right now because of the government and what else? YouTube and new laws and all that kind of crap. You know what? It deserves it, to be honest. Deserves what it's getting. It's been such a scammy, wicked, evil, disgusting, freaking screwed up place that it deserves everything that it's getting. You know, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell everybody. You know, we think, oh, they just don't want decentralization. No, they don't want all the fucking crap that's out there right now, guys. Yeah, I hear you guys. I hear you. I really do. But you know what? Like I said, crypto got what it deserved. Fucking millions of dollars worth of NFTs just got sold. Punks for millions of dollars. What do you suppose is going on there, right? What do you suppose is happening, right? What a joke. So anyway, so we're in the middle of all this crap that crypto has brought on itself. And if you think it hasn't, you're fucking wrong. You're wrong. Crypto's been nothing but a big shit show until Richard and Hex showed up. And now he's trying to right it. He's trying to fix it. He's trying to change it to get rid of all the degenerate gamblers, fucking scam coins, ridiculous ass freaking fees, people ripping everybody off, miners, all this crap. What a bunch of garbage crypto is. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you guys. If you think it isn't, then you're fucking wrong. You're wrong. But Richard's trying to fix that, and Hex is trying to fix that. So there is hope for crypto. There is hope, and Hex and Pulse are it. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's what's going on. I've been saying this shit for months and months and months. We are the influencers. Hex is the new crypto. Richard's going to bring a new chain into the freaking system that's going to change it all. That's what's going on. We deserve the respect. We deserve to be the influencers. We deserve to be out there teaching people what crypto should be. Period. End of story. That's who we are as Hexicans. And that's what we are as Hex. I mean, no other way to say it. So anyway, well, let me go say hi to the chat room real quick. What did it say? Hey, did anybody say sound is good? Okay, good. Well, I can't hear anything. I'm not going to hear until somebody finally comes in. So by the way, this is your FN Hangout, and it's your show. Come on in. I'll drop the invite in. Look, man, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that don't want to show their faces and stuff. That's fine. But if you want to come in and hang out, it's not a big deal. We're all cool here. There are no stupid questions. There isn't anybody too new that doesn't deserve respect. That's the way we've always been. Everybody had a learning curve. So come in. If you're brand spanking new and you really want to know what Hex is about and you're too afraid, come on in. I promise you it'll be okay. We're how can I say it? Don't mistake our kindness for weakness, because if anybody does come at us and they aren't square, we'll fucking straighten you right up. So anyway, let me say hello to everybody in the chat, because we got some middle class working men. What is up? Man, I love Hex Asians. If you guys aren't watching Hex Asians, watch Hex Asians. They're freaking funny as hell, man. That is a good ass stream. One of my favorites. Miss Hexquisite, welcome. ISO Serenity, Benny Bills, first name, last name. What's up? Sir Edwards Tricombe. What's up, dude? Hope you're having a nice evening. Crypto Panda, more of my panda gang. Piston broke 555. Yo, yo, yo. Another Friday night. DS pump. Let's hope so, man. We're going to talk about that in a second too. Oh, we're going to get into it tonight. We are going to have some fun. Let's see. Timothy B. And I think Timmy B is in the freaking green room. Always love it when our cutthroat Timmy B comes in. Who else? Joe Hixotic, my brother. Blue Bum. Hey, what's up, Blue Bum? Good to see you, bud. Good to see you. Hexander. Hex Softball. Nick Green, the Hex Machine. Hey, what's up? What's up? Celebrate Truth. All right. All right. I'm not going to get. Wait, did I see somebody in there did I see my cousin in there? Is my cousin in here? Where's she at? Oh, okay. That's somebody else. Anyway. Okay. And Children of the Graves in here. Yo, what up, Crypto CPT? Oh, you one of my homies here? You a homie? You a homie, Crypto CPT? Let's see. Sig Hex. Anyway, all right. So I wanted to go into something real quick. So, the Hex gains are getting real. The Hex flex is on. I haven't spent a dime. I haven't spent a dime on my Hex, guys. And good reason for it. Good reason for it. Because like I see the tunnel of freedom, and freedom is right on the other side, and there's a little light gleaming through it, but we ain't there yet. For me anyway, we ain't there. I want complete freedom. And I've seen cycles in these. I've seen this story before. Hold on one second. I'm gonna turn this fan on. I don't have no wires, so I can do that now. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Got my Hex shirt on today. Thanks to gosh, I wish I could remember people's names. There was a gentleman, and if anybody remembers his name, please mention it. He wrote or he bought a bazillion t-shirts for everybody for free for the Hex meetup. So that young man needs a shout out. So if anybody can remember his name or something, please drop it so that I can write it down and start remembering who he is. I'm sorry, but thank you for the shirts and all the Hexicans that were there. Appreciate it too. So anyway, Hex flexing, right? Haven't spent a dime, but it's time. It's time to, take care of my family and spend a little bit of money and this and that and the other. So one of my lifelong dreams, well, for the last 20 years or so anyway, I'm not a watch wearer. I don't wear watches. Just don't have an interest. I have an Apple Watch that I use. I have a heart monitor, and I use it in the gym to monitor my workouts and stuff. But I don't usually wear a watch because the watch that I like, the one watch I like, is a Breitling Navitimer, and they're quite expensive for a guy like me anyway. I mean, they're in the watch world, in the Rolex watch world and all that. They're like literally you can get into a Navitimer for like $8,000, which, yeah, for me, a lot of money. Before Hex, a lot of money. But so it wasn't in the stars. But one of these days I wanted to get one. So I went and did the whole experience down here in San Diego. They've got a Breitling boutique where you can actually go in, and they've got the pretty girls, and they show you the watches. You get to try them on. They show you all the different blings. They take you around the store, whole experience, right? So I spent a whole afternoon. Well, it was an hour in there. I was in there for an hour. And man, there's a, what is it? It's the, now I can't remember the name of it. Hold on one second. It is called the, was really freaking nice because, like I said, I like the Navitimer. It's called a Super Ocean, and on the website it doesn't look like anything real special, but when you get into the store and you look into those freaking glass cases with the right proper lighting on them and everything, they're just like freaking badass, right? And just beautiful. So I really like this Super Ocean. Even better, almost better than the Navitimer that I really want, the big 46 millimeter Navitimer, certain colors and all that. And then I was learning about the watches and how to tell what's a mod watch and what's a because they do make mods for them, and they do all these little tricky timers and stuff for racing and all that stuff. But so I sat there and I went through the whole thing, just drooling over it the whole time. And sweet girl was showing me all the stuff, and I picked out the one that I wanted, and I said, okay, yep, this is the one. But yeah, waterproof, all that good stuff, man, everything. And then I even looked at the high dollar one, which is the high dollar Breitling is like, well, the in-store one is like 25 grand. And it's one that you pull this little device out of it, and it's a homing beacon. So literally when she let me try it on, it's made out of titanium. It's monstrous. It's like a 55 millimeter watch, right? It's monstrous watch. And then it's got this little tube on it, and you twist it and you pull this tube out and you stretch out the antenna, and like all these nav satellites, the Coast Guard gets warned. So she told me when I put it on that I had to sign a waiver saying that I would not touch the dials, because if you pull that thing out, it automatically notifies the fire department, the local fire department, the Coast Guard, NOAA or whatever. So everybody gets notified, and a search and rescue team comes to your location, no matter what. Like, you can call it off or whatever, and you have to pay for that shit. So I had to she let me put it on if I was like, I wouldn't touch it. Right. So I couldn't touch it. I got to put it on. I didn't touch any of the dials, and it was just cool shit. Really, really lightweight, badass watch. So anyway, saw the Navitimer that I wanted, and it was about 13 grand. And so I decided that that was exactly the one I wanted. But here's something that I think that everybody should be thinking about. And that is, what's the saying? To much is given, much is expected. And I know that there's this ladies' home that takes care of women with kids that are in addiction recovery, but they have kids, so they need a place to stay and work on that. So I'm going to donate my watch money to that home, and then later on, when time comes again for me to sit down and get a watch, I'll do that. But first, I think that I need to take care of somebody else first before I get my toy. So anyway, that's I'm not saying that to try and impress anybody, but that's my hex flex. And there's nothing better. There isn't a better feeling than doing that. I'm sure that I mean, when I sat in that showroom and had that watch on my wrist, it felt good. But you know what? It wasn't going to feel good. I know how shit is, man. I know how stuff is. Stuff is like cool for a little bit, and then the coolness of it goes away. And then it's just stuff, right? It's just stuff. But what if you can take 11 grand and help a couple families out for a few months or something, right? So anyway, that's one of these days I'll get that watch on my wrist. But for right now, my first flex is I'm gonna go pay it forward, and that's what I did. That's my hex flex. And when I do get a chance, well, I can't take pictures of people and stuff, but I'll post something on the twits about it. But anyway, cool beans, man. Cool beans. That's what's going on. Let's take a look. I want to take a look at the chart real quick before I bring everybody up. Let's see. Because everybody's on pins and needles tonight, right? Tonight's a big night. Tonight's a big, big night. I would imagine. And, it's day 16. And after tonight, there will be no more of entering the volume bonus for the sacrifice phase. So anything after tonight will not be entered into the volume. What you call it, the volume multiplier. So that's going to be the end of it tonight. So what's going to happen the next 3 days? Who knows? I know there's a lot of Hexicans out there that are holding on to their hex and hoping for a pump. We'll see. I don't know. Either way, you're going to get a 1.75 bonus, whether you get a pump or not. But I certainly hope so myself. I did my donation to the Sense Foundation. So if you haven't donated the Sense Foundation, you probably should have already. I did. That was my first sack, and I haven't sacked since. But that was my first sack. Multi-billion-dollar sacrifice incoming. Mark my words. Well, we're gonna be on stream if it does happen. So I got Whalebot turned on. I've got charts ready to go, and I know that a bunch of people want to come in and hang out with us. So I'm gonna start bringing everybody up. First of all, our cutthroat, Timmy B. What's happening, brother?
Hey, good to see you, Captain.
Oh man, I could hear you. That's awesome. Now I was scared I wasn't gonna be able to hear anybody. I got these wireless Sony deals. They're really nice heads.
They look good.
Yeah, they're cool. The other ones were like literally my son's old gaming headphones from like 10 years ago. You know, I've been wearing those forever. But I finally got the Flex set on here. They're like a whole $80 or something. I don't know. But they sound really good. The other ones were like 325. I was like, no way, not gonna happen. So how you been, man?
I've been doing really well. I actually spent the last 2 weeks house sitting for two different friends, and I didn't take my laptop with me, so I wasn't available to get on the Friday night hangout. So, but I'm back in full swing, and I am looking forward to doing my first Hex Flex in September.
Nice.
Yeah, so y'all need to pump the price throughout the month of August for me. Hook up.
Bump that price. I know. I talked to my buddy. He's an avid motorcycle car enthusiast racer. He owns a Harley shop. He builds Harleys,
nice.
Race Harleys and stuff. And he called me, and he finally got his Hex, and he bought it at like 9 cents, and he got pissed because it dumped right after he bought it at 9 cents. And then now he's like, okay, man, okay, it's up, but you better get your pirate ass up there and pump it some more, right? He's like, where's the pirate? Get to work. He just bought himself a new Camaro, one of those race tricked out for freaking factory Camaros or whatever. So, but we were talking about the Porsche experience. He wants to go to Germany with me next year and go pick out a Porsche. So I'm gonna take him with me. Freaking guy is amazing. He can race anything on wheels, anything. So let's bring everybody up. What's that?
You need to ask him if he has or knows of a 1994 FXLR custom lowrider, because that's the Harley I've always wanted.
So he had an FXR.
Okay.
A 19, I want to say his was a 92 or a 93. We used to go race at El Mirage. The flats out here, and he had the fastest 80 cubic inch. He beat Wink Eller's record out there. Wow. He had the fastest 80 cubic inch Harley on the planet, and then we put that same engine in my Softail. So nice. I had a Softail that was just ridiculously fast, hard mounted motor, just like rattle trap. Holy crap, 94 Heritage that I had had all of the fenders and everything. Jesse James, I used to do work for him, so Jesse made all the custom fenders for me. Yeah. So he made all the fenders for it. It was beautiful. I'll put the picture up here one day. But
all right,
it ran a 776 in the 8th mile, and for a 80 cubic inch Softail, that is freaking fast. That is really, really fast. Nice. I used to beat like 102 Mercs all the time, 106s. I used to beat all those guys just with 80 cubic inch because of the head work we did on it. It was badass. But anyway, no more motorcycles for me. Let's but I am gonna get one of them damn Porsches, man. I am gonna get by the way, so I got sent a video on a Tesla beating a Porsche. But guys, that is the Taycan. That is a touring model Turbo S, not the 911 Turbo S that rips that freaking Tesla apart. So thanks. Nice try. But no, the Tesla did not beat the 911 Turbo S.
Sorry, but that's my flex, man. Is a Tesla. I've just sold out.
No, I love Teslas too. And the electric thing is like, that thing is, I mean, it beat the Turbo S on the launch, right on the launch, because it's like nothing could, that hookup power on that electric motor is just like insane, man. It just boom. But of course the Turbo S just zipped right through it. You know, by the time they were, you know, a car or two length out into the field, Turbo S just ate it for lunch. So yeah. Anyway, all right, let's bring everybody up. So we've got
Morning, guys.
I don't think he's connected. Let's try and see. They will connect their mic. Hey, but he must have dipped out. So we got Oswood Randy. What's happening, bud?
How you doing, guys? Everybody all right? I got it now.
Nice to meet you, Randy.
Great to meet you, Tim. Good to see you again, RG.
Hey, good to see you, man. How you been?
Yeah, just hearing you talk about the motorbike. I used to have an R6, and I nearly died every day on that thing. Oh my god!
I was
having one again.
I got out of the. I had the old back in the 80s. I had an old Hurricane, the first Hurricane that came out, which was the CBR, turned into the CBR later.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That was like the first real kind of cafe racer Honda came out with, and I ran that thing into the back of a car doing about 75 miles an hour.
Ouch.
And destroyed it, right? Destroyed it. Got pretty messed up myself. Not too bad, but it was rough. So I got out from the rocket bikes. I had an FZ for a while, and then I got my first Harley, and I really enjoyed, you know, tricking those out and making them fast, because there's nothing like going fast on a Harley, man. Nothing like going fast on a Harley.
I like those super sports bikes. That's right over the tank. That's where I was.
Yeah. Well, I got on the R1 back in like, it was like 2000. It was right when I was just getting married, and my buddy got that damn R1, and that was like the fastest bike at the time. I mean, it was just monster fast. So I jumped on. We used to live down by the beach by Huntington Beach and off PCH. So I jumped on his bike. He said, "Go take it for a ride." So I jumped on it, and I lit it up on Pacific Coast Highway. And I know it doesn't go as fast as it's saying, because that's not true miles. Like if you go out on a flat track, it's different than if you're, you know, on the streets. But that son of a bitch, when I lit it up, and then I said, okay, I turned around. I got about a half a mile away, turned around, and I just launched it. Right. And I mean, cars were like snapping as they were going past me. I was like, oh shit, man. So I finally looked down for a second. It was at 164 miles an hour. And I just, backed off of it real slow. And then, I mean, by the time I got through the gears, I was already a half a mile away. I was like, holy shit, this is death right here.
That sounds like my brother's bike.
I parked it. I got off it. My knees were like just freaking shaking, you know. I was like, I'm never going to ride one of these things ever again. And that was it.
Yeah, I don't want to get it back anytime soon. Definitely not.
Oh man. Yeah. So
talking about those hex flexes, it is crazy on Twitter. I've seen tricked out Lambos, everything. Absolutely insane.
It's getting nuts. Hey man, we're starting to get a little pump going on here.
I noticed that.
All right. Okay. I've got my trading computer sitting here at the ready. I'm also supposed to text Kinetics if anything happens, because he's literally out with his family. He took his laptop and he has his connection and everything ready to go if he needs to trade tonight. So everybody's like ready to go in case something happens. So yeah. So,
I kept it simple with this sacrifice. I bought around 8 cents, what I could afford at the time, and then sold it around 15, 16 cents on day 5 or 6. Day 5, I think.
Good for you, man. Good for you. That's a
and
really
I finally
good
drained. I had some bad wallets. I had wallets from 2017 with so much junk in it. I think I sold 8 just coins. I was like, clearing through Binance and some other wallets. I was like, finally, it was like, you know, It's a bit cathartic. Finally getting rid of that baggage. There were some coins, but I just had a sour taste in my mouth, and it's over.
Yeah.
The first time I've properly sold coins, to be honest. I just can't sell. I find it hard.
I had a hard time putting something in the sacrifice chamber. I haven't been as informed on Pulse as I was on Hex at the beginning, just because I'm doing so well with Hex that it just didn't seem all that necessary. But I did put something in on day 2 from 2 different wallets. And I was watching a video today, I think from Big Pep, and I'm like, I really think I should have put more into that sacrifice chamber. And then I talked to my one friend here locally, and he's like, dude, I told you I was on the verge of beating it into you physically. Dude, put it all in there. Because I have a friend that put in like 6 figures into the sacrifice. He's in the top 1,000. Yeah. Because he missed out on Hex early. He didn't understand the value of shares when I did. And so now he's making up for it with Pulse. But I'm happy for him, but I'm kind of kicking myself for not sacrificing more. But oh well, I'm happy with what I'm going to get. But still, such is life.
You know what? There's going to be that price discovery there at the beginning, and it could wick really low when there's that much of an illiquid market potentially on certain exchanges. There's going to be opportunity there, I think.
I was realizing that today, which is why I'm not crying too much over it.
Yeah, right now I'm looking to try and get as much as I can for 15-year stakes for the double chains, for both chains for the snapshot. Trying to get it in sooner rather than later. I think before big payday, we saw a top out around a week or 2 weeks before when we hit 3 or 1.5 cents. Might be 1.5 cents. I can't remember. I'm just guessing now. And then we saw a sort of sell off into it. I think you're going to see a very similar event take place. So I want to get in before that, but just after the hype of this. So this sort of middle area, lock it all up, get it in, lock the T-shares on both chains. I think that's the safest thing to do for me. That's my plan. And then once the snapshot's taken place, just start stacking from my current income revenues and get ready to see where we start trading at, and then trying to put some low buy orders for Pulse. Play the game.
Yeah, all I'm gonna do is stack as much P-Hex as I can. Every chance I get, I'm stacking P-Hex. I'm just gonna keep gathering shares, because I mean, I think that's where the real value is going to be in Hex, and it's going to be on both chains, and more than likely it's going to be on P-Hex. All right, well, look who we got here in the back room. Let's see how he's doing tonight. Bring him up. What's happening, Benny? How you doing?
Good to see you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Loud and clear, yeah.
So we got day 17 starting here in, let's see, a little over 2 hours. So does anybody have any plans?
Watch the price chart.
Popcorn and some beer. And,
how many beers are you into it, so I can know when it's time to kick your...
I've scaled it back. It back. I'm domesticating myself. I'm becoming more mature. So I won't be getting kicked off of this stream. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Cheers.
Cheers.
The night's young.
The night's young.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see, I just want something to happen. Hopefully something happens, because everybody's been talking about it, and there's a chance that nothing happens. So it is what it is, but let's just hope something happens. That'd be a lot of fun for everybody.
Let me drop the link here. There you go.
I'm hoping to see some new faces here tonight.
We should. We all want something to happen. That is true, man. Everybody wants to see something happen. Now, we could just fizzle out and go sideways for the rest of the next few days. That could be it could be anticlimactic as far as that goes. tend to doubt it. I didn't see like the ETH whale move yet in some significant way. I just couldn't imagine the ETH whale being such a heavy-handed holder in Hex, not want to be a heavy-handed holder in Pulse. So I don't know, maybe.
There's an interesting thing going on where it depends. I think all the whales are kind of just waiting, and they're waiting to see if another whale is going to do something. And if a whale does something, it might spark another whale to do something to counterattack. It could get really weird, but then again, nothing could happen. Like then again, they could just be done. It could be over. We just got to wait and see, man. There's a couple of hours. I mean,
a couple hours, and it's making a move upward right now. So in the last, no, it's making a little move. I mean, it's not significant, but it's a move.
Sure is.
We just got another green candle, so we're back over 12 cents, which is nice. So, Randy, you speak with an accent that sounds like it's somewhat British.
It is indeed.
Okay, very good.
Oh, I feel like there's a real lack of Hexican representation in England. It's really disappointing.
There's a little difference between, I can tell a difference between the British accent and the Australian accent. I can tell a difference.
There's a definite difference.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Randy, you need to go around the city of London and just slap hex stickers all over the Bank of England and
I do. It's the most surreal thing. It's the first time. So I got swept in 2017 in terms of the bull market, that run. It was funny to be there for every day of this bear. I was day one Hexagon in the lobby, everything.
Oh, nice.
And then to see everybody talking about Doge and SafeMoon, and I'm sat in a restaurant or a bar and I can hear it, and I'm like, it's the most surreal thing that they're talking about. Absolutely rubbish. I think that must have been me in 2017. Absolutely wrecked. Talking about ICOs and like this new thing. It's revolutionary, and then you go through the cycles and you're like, it's kind of revolutionary. It's kind of rubbish. It's slow. It's expensive. It's useless. It's kind of good. You know what I mean? You go through these cycles and you're like,
it's the same. It's the same. They find the same. It's the same degenerates. The same degenerates that come out every couple of years, and they don't learn anything from the previous degenerates the years before. They don't pay attention to what happened to them. You know how it went up, went down, and then the bear trap came, and then they all got. All got killed.
I know.
And then 2 years later, everybody forgets. Everyone forgets. Goldfish memory, just gone, forgotten.
But if you read our newspapers, our broadsheets, so they're like, the Times, the Guardian, the articles, I'm reading them and they don't know anything, these people. And I'm thinking, this is the worst advice you could ever listen to. They literally don't know what they're talking about. These are the people that everybody's reading for advice moving forward. I'm thinking, yeah, you're miles away. It's crazy.
Do those publications mention cryptocurrencies on any kind of regular basis?
Yeah, I mean, some do, but like I say, you read it and it's
rubbish.
They just make little nuanced things, like they'll say it's deflationary or something, when
sure.
It's not, and like just little nuances that you will spot straight away, but to an average person, they'll be like, okay. And there's such a narrative. It's either like scam, fear mongering, like do not ever look at crypto, or it's like, yeah, it's mainly fear mongering, to be honest with you.
I'll tell you what gets me angry. So Richard has raised, well, we raised the money, and Richard said that he's like, when I claim credit for it, I'm actually giving credit to everybody all of you guys, which is, cool of him to say that. It's true though. But he says, whenever I take credit for it, I'm actually giving credit to everybody in the community. But he deserves a mainstream spot, like a mainstream news spot.
Absolutely.
To talk about what he's raised for this awesome charity and for life longevity. And nothing. Still nothing. Crickets. So,
even in the space,
what can we do?
Cointelegraph took down his video recently. His video with Tone Vase got taken down. They will not mention Richard. It's disgusting, and that's in our own space.
Yeah. Well,
unbelievable.
It's, we've been talking about the same thing this whole time.
There's
a reason why it is the way it is. I mean, and now, even YouTube is getting, really, really scared, I guess, from the climate. And I
think it's scared. Yeah, I think they are scared.
They are. Everybody is, because I mean, look at all the scams. Look at all the scams that are out there and what they've done to people. I mean, it's horrendous. I mean, I don't blame the platforms for doing what they're doing. I really don't. I mean, you could yell and scream censorship all you want. I'm a big anti-censorship guy myself, but crypto got what it deserves.
Yeah.
It has destroyed people's lives. There are so many scams out there that you can't tell a good one from a bad one.
I was just reading another article again today. Yeah, a 70-year-old lost all his pension.
Yeah, and the reason that Hex has gotten the shade that it's gotten is because of what crypto has offered up to everybody. Exactly. Everybody's gun shy. Everybody's wounded. Everybody's scarred the fuck up. There's
no. I can understand, like you said, why everybody is gun shy about it. And then we say something like, all right, we got this thing. It's called Hex and it works. And it's an immutable contract. It just works. You don't deal with middlemen. And they're
How
still
many times have they heard that? You know what I mean? I don't blame people. I don't. I really, really don't anymore.
I don't either.
And it's the problem is that when you do, like, if you just scratch the surface of Hex for a minute, then yes, you can see it and go up. It's just like everything else. But if you give it a little bit of time, if you just give it a little bit of research, learn a little bit about it, and then start digging into some videos, looking at all the content that's out there, look at Richard's content, then you'll start to go, okay, wait a second, maybe there's something to this. And then you can get pulled into it and understand what's going on and see the greatness that is Hex and what it does to shadow Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin is garbage compared to what Hex is. Bitcoin doesn't even compare. It's not even close. If Satoshi himself walked out and built a coin, this is what he would do. He'd go, you know what? This is a better way to do it right here. This is it. That other one was just a prototype. It was just the beginning. It was just a try and it failed. But you've got people that are so freaking hung up on it because they got such big bags and they've got such a big following that they've just perpetuated this bullshit lie that that's the way to do it and that's the way it should be, and they've all believed it. They've all swallowed it up and ate it. And I mean, I know why, the big maxis do what they do. And I mean, just today they're out there saying, oh, look at everybody was saying we were going into a bear market. Here it comes. And
there it goes.
And there it goes. I mean, it's going to be, I posted on Max Kaiser saying the winter's coming, buddy. Here it comes, so just stand by. You can say fuck you to Elon and fuck you to everybody all you want, but it's not going to change the fact that Bitcoin is what it is. It's old tech, bro. It's old tech.
It just sits still.
And your stale ass fucking comments.
It just sits there. It doesn't do anything but sit there. You buy it and it sits there. I'm excited. I'm excited because I saw his last couple of streams and I can see the excitement in Richard. And that gets me excited. That gets me excited because this guy he hasn't seen, of course, very successful people are always come across failures, but this guy is motivated. He's been retired since 2003, self-made man, multimillionaire, and took a long time off, traveled the world, all that good stuff. But now all of a sudden He's back and he's building stuff. And this is a reason to get excited, in my opinion. It's a good reason. I think what's going to happen,
we're going to have this closed loop infrastructure of greatness where it'll be a circular economy within itself, and we all know and trust it. We won't have to worry about being gatekept. We'll have the exchange.
It's a brand new crypto. It's a brand new crypto ecosystem. It's a brand new crypto ecosystem, and it's completely separated from the rest of the shit that's out there. Somebody sold like $5 million worth of stupid fucking punk NFTs today. $5 million worth of those freaking NFTs. You know, oh my!
I saw someone in the comments. They had screenshotted it, said I own it as well now.
I'm excited. Richard's building stuff, and when he's excited and he's saying we're going to make a new MetaMask, we're gonna make a fiat on ramp, we're gonna everything else he was talking about. I mean, wow! And I don't doubt this guy, because look at what he's done. Look at the incredible track record he has, and I'm just sitting back like, do it, man. Go for it. Go for it. The world is your oyster. Let's do it. I'm excited.
And we're so early still. We're so early with it.
Yeah, I mean, Pulse is just launching. Literally, you're getting in day one. Whether you sack tonight or tomorrow, or you sacked on day 5, you're in the
you're early.
When you back out from this thing 5 years from now, you're not even going to recognize whether you got in day 5 or day 10 or whatever.
And how many friends have you had at a cent, at half a cent, say, "Oh, it's gone up too much. Oh, it's not worth it." I say, look, the train has not left the station.
Not even close.
And now I go, and then I tell them the price now. They can't believe it. They literally can't believe it. I say pennies. You're still early.
You can buy it for pennies. And
you're at pennies. You're at 12 cents right now, and I know that we will one day hit $1. We will one day hit $1 because of the value of Hex and what it does. I mean, it does way more than Bitcoin. It does amazing things that Bitcoin couldn't even possibly think of doing. The game theory behind the shares and the interest payments are just fucking mind blowing. I mean, as soon as the virality happens, as soon as it goes viral and people understand what this is about and what Hexicans have been, what we've been taking advantage of for the last, 2 years.
It's the opposite of everything that people get into crypto for. Everyone gets into crypto for a quick buck. There is no quick buck mentality wise when you go into Hex, because you're thinking about your future self.
Yes, exactly.
Hex is a product that is superior to both Bitcoin and the Federal Reserve. And the more people see that, the more of a force to be reckoned with Hex is going to be.
My man, our newest cutthroat.
Hey,
buddy.
Well, going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Good to see you, man.
Glad to be here.
Wow.
Glad to be here.
Good to see you, Wales.
Hanging out with the ladies earlier, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We must impart our presence upon all.
Yes.
Especially tonight, right?
Especially on Friday. Friday's the night.
Friday's the night, man.
What I love about Hex is it has staking built into it innately. So it can't.
Yeah, you don't have to go to some platform, give up your keys, and go try and attempt to do something. It's actually built into the contract, and that's unique.
It's there. And Captain, I want to say something. You mentioned how the OA is what was the word you used? You said it was a feature. A feature.
Yeah, it's a feature.
Perfect.
It's not a
perfect wording. And everyone tries to duck it. And I think you're right. Ducking it is ridiculous. It's a feature of what makes it so powerful. And that needs to be talked about more. The OA is what makes it what it is.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
guys,
huge.
I'm sorry. Hold that thought. Hey, Blaze, how you doing?
Hey, Captain. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really, really well. Hey, I just had to come on because I hadn't chatted to you in ages.
Ages. You don't talk to me. You don't talk to me. I don't know what it is.
I've been tweeting at you. You don't respond. I don't even know what's happened between us.
If you tweeted at me one time, I guarantee you I would respond.
I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to be tweeting at you all afternoon now.
I will accept it.
Hey, but yeah, I saw that you guys were on. I just wanted to come say hey because I missed you guys.
I miss you too. Forget about those guys. But let me go ahead and bring them back.
Thanks for the entry. That was amazing.
Hello, Blaze.
Hi, Blaze. How you doing?
I love it. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. It's nice to talk to you in person, somewhat.
It is, as close to as person as we can get right now. I'm happy to be here. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't. I know that RG was being very polite, but I hope I didn't interrupt any important chats.
Nah, you didn't interrupt anything. There was nothing important about what these guys were saying. Bringing you on politely.
We were just lamenting the fact that there were no girls on our stream.
Hey, excellent. Perfect timing.
No, we got one.
Check that box.
Check.
Sorry, she's not a girl. That's Blaze, guys. This is Blaze.
That's right. That's right. Love it.
Okay, so we were talking about the OA, and that's what everybody wants. It's a feature. Yes, it's a feature. It's not a who. It's a feature, and that's what we figured out well, at first, I gotta let everybody know. When we first when the OA was a thing, and it was a FUD thing because that was what they all used. Hey, Purple, welcome. They used the OA to FUD, like, okay, well, Richard owns this and all of the coins are going here and it owns most of the supply and it's creating all this. It's going to dump. It's going to, right on your faces and blah, blah, blah. And I'll be honest, we were all watching it. We were all concerned. We were, chain analysis was the thing with the OA. What's going on? Where's the coins? How's it all going? And then after a while, after listening to Richard and after learning what we learned in the first, couple of months of Hex, was that, wait a minute, this thing is appearing to operate as a feature. And then we realized, like probably 2 months into the launch, we realized, holy crap, this is a market cap eater. Like, market cap is not going to be a thing anymore because Hex is going to make it look ridiculous. We just knew that. We were like, holy crap, it just killed market cap. And of course that's why, it's getting gatekept so much, because everybody knows that it's going to be number one on all the charts eventually, and sooner than it really should have. So we knew that was one of the features of it. And then we watched it move. The first time it moved, that was the real test, was when it moves, what is it going to do? And when the OA moved for the first time during Big Payday, it moved in the favor of the staker class. And at that point, we knew that Richard's narrative of everything that he was trying to create, the behaviors that he was trying to create with Hex, all of the things that we had seen so far, that really etched it in stone for all of us, was that the OA is a feature. It is not a who. It's a what. And that's all I could tell anybody, is that the OA is there for your benefit. It's there for the benefit of Hex, and it's not going to help anybody, Richard or any investor or anybody out there, by dumping it. It would wreck the whole thing. The reason for it all existing, the reason for it to take over all of crypto, the reason for it to be the best crypto out there, is because of that feature. That's just one of the facets of the diamond that is Hex. So
it's just one of them.
Yeah. 100%. And the OA, there's so many facets to the OA as well, and why it's so beneficial to the Hex ecosystem. Exactly like RG was just saying, the fact that it kind of exposes market cap as this vanity metric, as Richard's always talking about it. As I think is pretty hilarious, because it does expose how arbitrary a lot of the space actually is, and I think that's why it can be so threatening for so many other cryptocurrencies. But yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that I had people like yourself, RG, and other people on the DS explaining the OA for me, because when I first got involved, it was actually something where I didn't quite understand it. You know, there was a moment where I felt a little bit, you know, nervous about, you know, what would happen if it dumped all the coins, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, slowly coming to the realization that this is a feature, as you're saying, not a bug of the system. It's there to protect those people who believe long-term in the project. And every single one of the actions that the OA has taken has demonstrated that. Now I just see how innovative Hex really, really is because of the OA.
Yeah,
also, if someone had contentiously tried to fork the network in terms of copy the system state over, the OA would have a say in that as well on that separate network.
Yep.
Absolutely, it would.
So it's
100%.
got the best interest for Hex in general.
Yep.
And obviously with P-Hex, it's not contentious, so that's great there as well.
That's the bottom line. It has the best interest of Hex and its users in its best interest. That's the most important thing.
There's just so much going on here. We
covered that topic.
The next 2-3 years in Hex are going to be
wild,
just phenomenal, because literally we're going to see a time. This is going to be ancient history. Everybody sitting in here is going to be ancient OG history. I don't care how small you are going to be ancient OG history. There's going to be other streamers and other people talking about Hex, and we're going to be just a fucking figment of everybody's imagination, because what's going to happen is the Hex is going to dry up. The share price is going to go absolutely insane, and people are going to be using Hex for what it really is, and that is a store of value that gains monstrous interest, which nothing else on the planet is going to be able to compete with. And you're literally going to be, people are going to be standing in line to buy your Hex as it comes out of the stake. There will be a line. You won't even be able to get Hex. You watch. Mark my word.
You're so right. 100% right. So
there's going to be a time you won't be able to get it.
Let's talk to this guy, though. Who is he?
Hey, bud.
Oh, what's up, dude?
For real. Now, I didn't want to interrupt. I don't like to interrupt a lady when she's speaking. You know, just had to be a little nice there. But no, I agree.
Such respectful Hexicans.
Yeah, right. I have to agree. I love the benevolent OA. You know, everybody says it's something to watch out for. I look forward to it every morning. You know, I'm glad it's there. As Richard said it a million times, why would Elon run to go dump Tesla stock, right? Why would anybody hop in here to literally destroy their own system? If this is for bragging rights and totalitarian of the environment, why would he do it? Just make it make sense, you know? So I'm happy to be on the winning team and not the losing team.
Boom.
Love that.
Well, it's important to understand that, you know, in the past, hold on, guys, let me just close this damn window. In the past 10 years, right, what we've seen is a preponderance of bullshit in crypto, right?
Damn right.
Like, crypto is, it as soon as Bitcoin came out and I guess people realized what the hell was going on, like, they just stopped that train, but just in ways that we couldn't see it, right? And I think, like, just running into Hex and seeing how Hex has developed, I mean, it's becoming pretty obvious, right? Like what they've done to the space, right? And it's so bad that there's literally no cryptocurrencies. All you have is a bunch of fucking promise coins, but it just, I mean, the entire space is literally a hotbed of digital securities, literally. Period.
About right. Yeah.
Did
yeah,
you?
About right.
Did you see Wells? Did you see Hexo's tweet today that what's his name? Charles Hoskinson's great granddaughter announced that there will be smart contracts.
No, but I'm gonna go look for it now.
It says
could come up with some shit like that.
It said breaking news. Charles Hoskinson's great granddaughter announces that Cardano will now have smart contracts.
He is special, boy.
In the year 2072.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
So Richard spins it up in what, 3 months, 4 months? He just spins it up.
Just ate their lunch, man. Just ate their fucking lunch.
That's how you know it's a scam, bro.
I love
it for 3 months.
That's how you know it's a scam. He did it in 3 months.
I can never understate how much I love the way that Richard exposes the fraud of the cryptocurrency industry, because it's exactly right. People have been talking about smart contracts on Cardano for years and years and years. This guy, Charles, what's his name? Charles Hoskinson.
Yeah.
Hoskins
has been promising this promise coin forever, and Richard literally within 3 or 4 months has a fully functional, public testnet. It will launch likely in the next 1 to 2 months, and it's going to be better than Ethereum. It's going to be faster. It's going to have better game theory. And it absolutely blows my mind that this is how much of a scam it was, that somebody could, if they put their mind to it and they really worked hard. I know, Richard's a brilliant person, but in, a 6 month period could get this thing out there. And these so-called, experts and founders and this and that couldn't do it in
struggle. They
5-6 times the amount of time.
He said they only had 5 devs and they were helping them to fix shit on ETH. I mean, it just really shows you what's really going on out there. What's real. Mm-hmm. We think that there are these mega corporations and these mega groups of people with these smart guys all sitting in, rooms with white smocks and computers in front of them. It's not like that. It's like 3 or 4 guys out of their own homes trying to freaking, program shit and, eating Hot Pockets and freaking tapping on their computers, I mean, hey, Black Sheep, thanks for the 420, bro. We appreciate you. Hey, everybody, look, if you want to see a show that's even edgier than this one, go over to Crypto Black Sheep show on YouTube. I'm surprised he's even got a show. I don't know how he does, but Black Sheep is I mean, you guys want to see something funny? I'll tell you guys a funny story without divulging the whole thing. So Black Sheep and I are in Vegas together. I picked him up and we were driving around, and
Vegas story.
I picked somebody else up. I don't want to say who, but it turned into a they weren't supposed to be in the same car together, right? It all of a sudden it turned really hot. Black Sheep's in the back seat, this guy's sitting in the front, and the guy's like, I'm supposed to put you in a shallow grave while I'm out here. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So I pulled over into a back alley area, right? In Vegas. I'm in Vegas, and I pulled over where nobody was around. So I kicked everybody out of my car, and I had to stand both of these 2 guys up and say, you guys ain't doing shit, man. But it was surreal. I couldn't believe, but Black Sheep was if you want to see a edgy show and you want to see somebody who's got mafia people after him, go watch Black Sheep show. He is definitely an edgy dude and a good friend. And I love Black Sheep. And he's also got he made the first Hex anthem. I know that we always play our other Hex anthem that we love so much. But he made the first one, and it's pretty funny. So anyway. Oh yeah! By the way, Black Sheep said that him and the mafia bro, the mobster that was in my truck, became friends by the end of the night. Yeah, they were hanging out. They were hanging out, and we all went to the club afterwards, and they were buying each other drinks by the end of the night. It was cool. So
it's a beautiful thing, Hex, isn't it?
It is, man.
I remember meeting Crypto Black Sheep in Vegas, and I didn't know who he was, so it was just first time meeting him. He seemed like a great guy. We were hanging out for a while, just talking. I'd never seen his show before, so I didn't know the nature of his content. Now I'm going to have to go watch it.
go. Hey, do
Same
yourself
here.
a favor. Go watch Black Sheep's show, and you will laugh your ass off. Now, don't take your family members or send them there because
I don't have any family members.
no young
learned years
children,
ago.
people with sensitives or feelies. Don't send feeling people over there because, But Black Sheep is, he's got a hell of a show over there. Hey,
So
Brissology, thanks for the $5. Richard brings his devs chicken tendies and wet wipes so they can keep working through the night.
Oh, I was going to say something. So Richard only has 3 devs. Three. That's it. 3. And that they must be some really damn good developers, man. I mean,
Jeez.
Yeah.
Three. Richard and 3 guys.
Sounds like that's not enough,
Yeah.
though.
right. And he said he was going on a hiring spree. I think he should. I think he
What
really
are they
should.
gonna hire? One more? Like what?
Wait,
Let's amp up the
Wales, be
force by
nice.
33% and go up one person.
Wales,
Well, clearly,
Wales.
he
Look.
picks and chooses who he hires. He only picks the best,
Of
So,
course, yeah.
he said, he doesn't want any noobs. He's like, no noobs apply.
Yeah,
he only
he did
wants
say
experts.
that. Yeah.
I mean,
Gotta
if you
be
do the
hardcore.
math, he's already got half of what the Ethereum team is, right?
That's
So, I mean,
60%,
he's
right?
halfway there. 3 months old on the project. It's not too bad.
It's not with 60% of the
3/5.
workforce.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I
But
guess
you
if
know-
you count Vitalik, that's 6. Is that 6 with Vitalik or is it 5 with Vitalik? That's the
For real,
question.
I need to know.
I don't know. That's a good question.
All I know is those
That's a
3
good
devs
question.
must be badass. They just got to
Right.
be badass as hell.
Well, I mean, he's got Dev Kyle. Look, you guys, Dev Kyle
We know
Kyle's
Kyle
a
is
beast,
like-
man.
he is a beat. He's a mild mannered and doesn't act like that guy. That dude is important. He's the
Yeah.
one that
Oh, yeah.
set up the shares with Richard. Him and Richard set up shares, and that whole thing is like literally Nobel Prize winning shit right there. That share freaking rate, the way that thing works is brilliant. And this dude ran all the models for what shares could end up looking like based on whatever different scenarios. And he helped Richard to put it together because there was a need, because when they first started out, they couldn't figure out how to do the interest, because the interest was like one of the people in the chat room said, hey man, I'm just going to run the shit out of this thing and I'm just going to unstake every month and dump on your guys' heads every single day. And they were like, oh shit, this guy's right.
I remember
And-
that.
And they changed it up. They changed it up, and that's where it came from, and Dev Kyle he's a freaking monster, man. He is a monster.
If you-
Mild-mannered
I hate
monster.
to interrupt, but Richard is going
Go ahead.
live.
Is he?
What?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
What?
All right, guys. Anybody who wants to stay, I'm gonna pull it up live right here, and we'll run RH.
Yeah,
Let's
that's cool. Yeah, let's
Let's do
watch
that.
Richard
Hold
Rosen.
on. Hold on one second, guys. I'll pull him
Sounds
up.
good.
I don't see it up on his channel.
He put the link. I put the link in the chat. Whoever. Let me put it
Okay,
again.
I got him right here.
In
Let's go to
YouTube chat.
him. Yeah,
And
let's
I
go.
put it in the private chat.
Gosh dang it. And there we go.
And I can't imagine what he's gonna say because he should be working, but it's cool.
Man.
Don't know what you're doing, Richard, but you should
Friday
have
night,
your
bro.
ass should be in front of your computer making
Clicking
shit
away.
happen.
Crack me up, man.
Really live streaming. We got 3 days left. You live streaming right now?
Right.
Hold on a second.
Like, figure out how to get me a price pump, bro. Get out of here.
For real. Bro, word
Is he
something
going-
for me, bro. Please, word
Is
it
he
up.
going live with Omar?
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know.
He's going live with Omar, isn't he?
I don't know who that
Yeah.
even is. But
The link you just
Yeah.
sent me was with Omar.
Yeah.
I have
yeah,
no
and
idea.
it doesn't start for
Yeah,
another
Wesley,
6
even
minutes.
click his own link.
I don't even know who Omar is, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Omar
Who's
Braun.
Omar?
Doesn't
Omar
matter.
Braun is his name. He's a crypto influencer. I've always liked Omar. I really have always liked Omar. And he gave Hex a less than the time that he talked to Richard and the shakes that he gave Hex were a little more favorable than everybody. You know, he called it a scam in a real nice way, kind of thing. You know,
get out of here.
so
Full rules
you know,
are full rules are
No
full rule. I'm
halfway.
sorry.
Halfway bullshit. Yeah.
exactly. And we've always fucked with him, and you know, and he's been a good sport. Now I think that he's actually it's nice to see them all turn around. There's a point when they all get to turn around.
All right, hold on. Let me stop you right there, RG, because this is the reason I come on fucking FN Hangout, because I got to make sure the proper words are used. There's no turning around. It's called submission. Let's get that shit right. It's called fucking submission. This is submission, because guess what? They're never gonna fucking win. So now they're submitting before this shit hits a fucking dollar, and they look more moronic than they already do.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. All these guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and it's pretty clear 20 months in. It mightn't have been clear 20 months ago, but it should be very fucking clear 20 months in. Stop being so fucking nice. They haven't earned it, and they sure as fuck don't deserve it. Stop it. Just like with the YouTube bullshit this morning or last night or whatever the fuck. Right? You got everybody saying thanks for what? They're literally letting you know we don't want you talking about what you're talking about on our platform, to the point that we have to start scrambling and figuring out what the fuck to do for the next time the stream gets shut down. And in light of that, I'm on Odyssey, so find me there. We need to start making moves to back our shit up, because we can't stop communicating because some middleman wants us to. Fuck that.
Yeah, and we you know, we've backed up all of our shows, and we've actually we're on different platforms, and we've got it all. You know, the sad thing about it is that in order to get the public eye, in order to get outside of our sounding board, which is the crypto space, you have to be on the platforms. You have to be on regular news. You have to be on those things, and there's a certain amount of diplomacy that you have to fucking yield to, and it ain't fun. It ain't fun. You know, I'm a Marine. Surrender is not part of my vocabulary.
Nope.
And I don't like submitting or surrendering. It's not part of it. You know, we call them a full fighting retreat is what we call them.
That's right.
and so that's kind of what we've been doing this whole time. But we know we're winning. We're dropping them as they're coming at us, right? And they're not going to win in the end. In the end, they're not going to win. We know what Hex is. We know what PulseChain is going to bring. We know.
We know.
And they're starting to. And I don't know what fate they're going to have. I don't know if the crypto space and the world is going to trust them anymore again after all this is said and done. I mean, watching Richard expose CoinMarketCap's bullshit that they've been pulling in front of people, and them all going, well, what the fuck is this? Well, wait a minute. We didn't know.
Hold on. Did you see the paid network one yesterday?
Wait. Your chart is like this, you know, and you've been on the same page the whole time. Wait a minute. What's up here? You know, why are they? I couldn't understand. Well, the guy yesterday. I mean, God love him. I like, you know, useful idiots, because I'm one. But the guy was just like, why are they doing that to you? What have you done, Richard? Why are they doing that? It's like, dude, what do you mean? Why are they doing that? It's obvious. I mean, they don't want us to be, they don't want to expose us. They don't want us to expose them. You know, it's what do you think? You know, but he was like,
it's a weird thing. Isn't it weird? It's a weird thing. Yeah, Richard explained what he did to that Kyle. Like he was talking to that Kyle dude, and he was like, I've done this, and I want some respect. And the guy Kyle was like, he couldn't even say, like, he couldn't even muster like, great job, Richard. He couldn't even say that. He just like cowered away for a minute.
Do you understand why?
And then came back and like asked a new question.
Do you understand why though? I think there's a big lapse in understanding as to why these people just can't really ever reply to him. And it's a simple fact that they mostly don't understand what the fuck he's talking about. Like, just because they're in the promise coin space doesn't mean they actually know a damn thing about it. Like, this is the biggest thing that people need to understand about the promise coin space. You've literally been led by the blind this whole time, and you just, most people just didn't have a clue. And now it's becoming evident because you have so much more people now entering the space than before, that now it's like, oh shit, this whole thing is a fucking house of cards. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. You know what's funny? One of I'm just gonna say his name, BitBoy, said when on one of his streams to answer the coin market crap bullshit, he said, and Dorsey just said it in the chat. According to BitBoy, there's requirements to be in the top 200. Oh, so what are those requirements there, buddy? What has Hex not done to make its requirements? What is it you got to do, right?
You got to fuck people over, bro. You got to be able to fuck somebody over.
I suppose.
You need to pay all the gatekeeping exchanges, and then you need to wash trade on them and pretend something's
There
happening.
you go.
That's what you
Pump
need to
up
do.
the volume.
Every box has been checked. We've checked every box.
You need to be willing to comply with like the status quo of the way the industry's run, right? Like, so
That's
exactly
it.
like you're saying, the wash trading, the exchange shilling, the getting the small guy wrecked stuff. If you're not willing to do that, then apparently you can't be on the front page.
There you go.
I remember Richard said something like, if you give us, like, some exchange was like, if you give us a couple $1 million, then sure, we'll put Hex up. Sure.
Oh, he did
Just
say
go
that
ahead
one
and give us
time,
a couple $1 million. Just a couple million, and sure, we'll go ahead and put your Hex up there. Sure. And Richard was like, nah, how about y'all go fuck yourselves? And they can't deal with that. They can't deal with someone like that.
Who we got here? Oh, my buddy, Cutthroat and Pirate, unwrecked. What's happening, Bubba?
Hey,
what's up, alright?
Hey, mate.
Thanks, Vinlick 8814.
Australia represent.
Yeah, we're here.
Rolling
all
deep.
excited. All excited about what's going on.
Australia, yeah.
The same flip-floppers that hated on Hex are flip-flopping. Didn't get into crypto until it was mainstream. Let them stay poor. They will hurt our space the same way they did in 2018 and 2020. I don't think that they're going to be able to hurt it any more than it's already hurt. I mean, they've damaged it beyond recognition. It's FUBAR'd. Crypto is FUBAR'd. They freaking destroyed it. It is FUBAR.
For people like us to be able to come in here. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, after you, Wells. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, for people like us to come in here and shut shit down, it's got to be FUBAR.
Yeah, it's an unmitigated disaster. That's what they call it. All right, we got this thing live. Hold on one second, guys. I'll pull it up.
I was hoping to get an unwreck story before this went live, but here we go.
We got to put the volume on.
It's going pretty good.
Can you guys hear?
I haven't had you on in a while. I believe this is our third interview.
I can hear it.
Probably. Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
It's a little low.
Doing a lot today. I finally
can hear it
decided
now.
to dig into the detail. That's what I was just telling Richard about Alex Saunders and this entire drama that's been going on recently. Some of my own viewers have been asking me about that. They've been asking me about Pulse, of course. So I think it's a prescient time to definitely bring you on to discuss that. I was just watching that interview. It's quite a long one, of course. I mean, I believe you cut him off a little bit early. I skipped to like the middle section of it. But I was still stuck in the looking at volume and market cap and all that when you were doing some screen sharing stuff. It didn't look like the best show, I guess you could say, for Alex. And I've interviewed him before, but he just seemed a little bit confused. What was your take on that whole thing? You seem to get more and more frustrated, and I haven't seen you that frustrated in a while.
It's like I love talking to people and having conversations. I love it. Yeah. And it gets very irritating when people are unable to make progress and they just keep saying the same thing over and over and over again because they don't have anything else to say.
Yeah.
That is super irritating. And then I try and like emotionally satiate them by repeating their argument to them 10 times in a row. So they know I get it and they know they get it. And then hopefully they can say something else. But his brain is so vacuous that it didn't contain any other useful information. He said that he was cut off early, but he wasn't. He chose to stop talking. He said, I'm going to leave now, or in his words, I'm going to love you and leave you. And then he started to try shilling his paid group. And I'm like, no, you're not shilling a paid group to my users. I know what happens in paid groups. Everyone loses all their money. And then I was like, wait a second. So I wanted to bet this guy because I think he's a pleb. And then I thought to myself, like, actually, he's broke because he keeps trying to hit me up for money. I can't make a bet with this guy. I'll never get paid, even when I win. So I published it was the first time I've ever published a private conversation in my entire life. This guy tried to borrow $1.2 million off me. And then
50 Bitcoin. Yeah.
It was 20, but I misquoted it as 50 in the tweet. Yeah. But the 1.2 million is an accurate number. And then he tried to charge me 60 grand or 50 grand for some pre-sale and some fantasy token that didn't exist.
Yeah.
And then he tried to convince me to give him money they should go on a show. I don't give people money to go on shows. When I show up on a show, I'm the highest.
That's what threw me off, because I would never have expected Alex to be like that. Like he was usually against that kind of thing from what I've seen in the past. So I'll tell you what was surprising to me the most. So Alex Saunders, if you guys don't know, I guess just briefly, that drama, he's had a fall from grace, shot through the heart, I think is what Cointelegraph said, or something like that, whereby he was creating, from my understanding, he was trying to talk to me about it as well. He was creating a kind of bank that basically it's going to be MakerDAO, so like Maker, but going back to the original style of Maker. That's how it was pitched to me, whereby it would be like a stable coin backed only by Ether and not USDC, which many have seen as possibly centralizing DAI, the stable coin. So he was going to do that. I was like, okay, cool idea, cool, whatever. And he kept sharing more information about that. That was the last I heard about it. I didn't really respond to that. But from my understanding, he's been asking a lot of people for money, including Richard, for money. BitBoy as well said he lent him like 5 Bitcoin as well, I believe at the end of last year or the beginning of this year, and he didn't get that back. And a lot of investors, private investors, him like 5 Bitcoin as well, I believe at the end of last year or the beginning of this year, and he didn't get that back. And a lot of investors, private investors,
oh shit,
him like 5 Bitcoin
hold on,
as well, I believe at the end of last year or the beginning of this year.
What happened?
He didn't get that back. And a lot of investors, private investors,
oh shit,
him like 5 Bitcoin
hold on,
as well, I believe at the end of last year or the beginning of this year.
What happened?
He didn't get that back.
He's going deep. Oh,
hold on, guys. Sorry.
Stop touching it. Stop touching it, Boomer.
For real.
Stop
What the
touching
hell
it.
happened?
Leave it alone.
The sacrifice is on. Sacrifice.
Just share your screen again, RG.
Hands off. Hands
Make a
off,
political
Boomer.
statement. Making a political statement about blockchain.
Sacrifice the stream. Fuck this guy. I don't want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, that's already on some bullshit, though. He clearly didn't even watch the video. But let's go back in.
Yeah,
that's what throws me off for sure. So he put it into a leverage trading exchange, and like the word scammy, I would like to think my original thought was he actually wants to create this project. He's taking the money, but you're right, if he's depositing it in an exchange. And I've heard all these rumors abound about gambling problems as well. So it kind of links up with it, that maybe he tried to gamble it, some of those funds or all those funds. But
the grossest part is that it's like, okay, there's people out there that diddle kids. It's terrible. But when a priest does it, it's worse, because that's a person that's supposed to be the top tier, best, most honest guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's scumbags out there that scam all the time. All right. Like the guy in front of the 7-Eleven, the crackhead. Fine. But then when a guy punks his kids and his wife and talks about how they live in a small family home and has a picture of his wife and his profile photo and is putting his wedding pictures out there and is doing every scammy thing he can do to try and come off as a nice, honest family kind of guy, but behind the scenes is victimizing people by the hundreds and costing them their life savings and lying to them and performing illegal activities. You cannot take money into a common pool with the expectation of profit of others, and it's a security. And I don't think he has a Reg D or a Reg A exception. So, I mean, this guy, he's robbing people, and then for some reason, people are so kind that they think he should get a free pass, or people should let on him. So what, he can go victimize more people because he'll reload everybody. These scammers, what they do is they bang you for everything you got, and then he'll call you under another identity and tell you he's the recovery team to help you get your money back. It's like a guy that steals your stuff and helps you look for it.
Exactly.
Total and
Create the
complete
problem,
scum.
proffer the solution.
Yep.
It's all come out damning. Like I said, I want to have Alex on the show too. He agreed to be on the show just so people know at some point in the future, because I want to get the full story. I know he can't probably talk too much right now. I understand he's probably
let him
being
incriminate
sued.
himself, man. Ask him the hard questions.
Yeah, I know.
Alex, why are you stealing?
They're all hard
money?
questions.
Or why
Yeah,
just stream?
Specifically, why are you stealing people's money? Where did
And
all
it
the
wa-
money go?
And it
When
was
did you
also
get
a-
liquidated? And how many times? Show us the logs. Show us. Tell me where that chart hurt you.
Yeah, maybe FTX will show us that information. I
Nah,
heard
they
that they're
won't,
looking
but-
into it. Yeah, I guess not, but
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they're like Sam Bankman-Fried posted that it's escalated as high as it can go, and that's about as good as you can do. I mean, he owns the exchange, so.
yeah. Well, I don't know what good can come of it. He said he hasn't shared his store, and he said that he's gonna share whatever. I don't know how you can come back from this, honestly, because it seems.
Well, he'll come back. He will. People will forget. I'm telling you. If you don't put this guy down hard, he will come back in 6 months and reload everybody. Scammers just change. They don't go away, man. I mean, like,
I mean, you're not a stranger to that word scammer as well, because people have called you.
yeah,
a
but the
scammer as
difference
well,
is that
and
when
you
people call
actually-
me scammer, it shows how horrible they are as human beings. I'm the guy that just raised $26 million for charity out of the kindness of my heart. I'm the guy with the free self-help books that I wrote out of the kindness of my heart and give away for free. I'm the guy with a self-help YouTube channel where all of my earliest videos are me trying to make people's lives better. I'm the guy handing out free coins. I'm the guy that called the top on the day. I'm the giving tree of crypto. Anyone that doesn't like me has something wrong with them. I mean, you might not like the way I talk. You might not like my $1 million of watches. When it comes to making the world a better place, I'm hitting home runs every day.
I
Hell
wish
yeah.
Hexicans wouldn't tag me in everything. That's the only thing I wish for.
Have less
Surrounding-
followers and they'll stop.
Fuck you, Omar.
as long as you got a lot of followers, you're target, bro. Because they're hungry. They want the respect that they've been denied.
Yeah, where's our respect,
Hexicans
you
have been
fucking
treated poorly
pleb?
for 2 years now, and we've dominated everything.
Dominated,
Everyone.
bitch.
We've got 100% uptime. BitMEX founders went to
Speak
jail.
up, Omar.
KX founders went to jail. KuCoin got hacked. Binance got hacked. Ravencoin had a 10% inflation bug. Lumen's had an inflation bug. Okay, guys, we've had 100% perfect, flawless operation. It's time for everyone to respect now.
Everybody
I think that's kind of
tag
been
this
the shift
bitch
as
on
well, which is
everything.
like, I guess most people expect.
Don't let up on him now.
Not that
Not going down at all.
Not
It's
going.
only
It
going
has.
up.
It hasn't yet, right? I mean, or it won't. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not here to argue whether
I agree.
Hex is good or bad. I don't want to
Sure.
spend my time too much.
Pulse
about
is more
that.
exciting.
You don't have that
Pulse-
choice anymore,
yeah,
you
yeah,
Pulse is more
fucker.
exciting to people.
I
I'll
don't
tell you, I don't know
understand
anything
it.
about Pulse embarrassingly, so I want.
Where's
That's
the
okay.
East,
You're
though?
talking to the right guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Got you covered, bro.
Sacrifice.
So I know nothing. All I understand is it's an Ethereum fork, and I know you're raising money as well, which I found interesting. I love to chat about like futurism, longevity, like all of that kind of stuff as well. So
Great.
medical research sounds super cool.
Yeah,
so
sure.
yeah, I mean, I would like
So-
to learn about that for sure.
I'll start with the medical research part.
Mhm.
I've been
Okay,
retired
start with
for 20
Hex.
years.
He needs to be beat over the head
I've
with
had
Hex.
more money than I know what to do with for 20 years. I retired in 2003. Crypto was invented in 2009.
I agree, OG.
So for me, I knew that what I would need to do to live my highest and best life would be to develop the technology that would allow me to live a little bit longer. So in 2006, I was volunteering for the Sens Foundation in Cambridge, UK. That's where I met Aubrey de Grey and some other cool guys. And I thought, all right, I'll make this a mission of my life. I'm going to go and try and raise money for longevity research. And what I found out was everyone hates it. No one likes it. They think that you turn 50 or they think that you turn 80 and just stay 80 for a while longer. Doesn't work like that. You just stay young longer. You don't stay old longer. And, it was just like bashing my head against a wall. I grew a big beard to try and look older because I was so young at the time. I might have been like 26, 27 years old, something like that. And it was just too hard. I was like, screw it. I'd rather just travel the world and live in a hotel for 5 years and just have fun because this was too hard. And then, I tried to I wrote the Sci-Vive book to try and create people of similar mind to me. That's like, here, I'm going to teach you how to get rich. I'm going to teach you how to find love. I'm going to teach you how to do everything that I know how to do that's good. And then hopefully if I fill your cup up, then it floweth over and you'll want more. You'll be like, yeah, okay, well, I've already got the great quality of life. So what's left? Quantity of life. They multiply by each other. So this is the meaning of life to me. If you were only alive for a second, probably wouldn't have developed friends, probably wouldn't have developed a personality. Not useful. And if you were alive, but you're in infinite pain, also not useful. And so what you need is health span, which is hours of healthy life, and quality of life. And we're far into diminishing returns on quality. Like these watches, they don't even tell time well. Burgers aren't getting any better. We're the limiting factor. Our taste buds aren't good enough. Movies, maybe some of them are a little bit better. Maybe
they're getting worse.
Yeah, right.
I disagree. Yeah,
sure. Like, man, I've seen some bad
sequels
ones.
after sequels, jump cuts everywhere.
Sequels are
Watch
horrible.
old movies, like
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Marvel movies,
the sequels are the
superheroes.
worst. Those are some of the better ones. Like, they're mostly
sadly,
worse than that.
That's how you know that you're an A-list actor when you're a superhero at some point. Yeah.
Right. So the point is, like, if the meaning of life is to increase the quality times quantity, and you're far into diminishing returns on quality, you have like really easy gains to be made in the quantity side, which no one's working on. But you go, Richard, wait a second. Isn't everyone working on that? No one's working on it. Let me explain. 80% of people die from cancer or heart disease, 40% each. If you cured cancer, people live only 3 years longer. That doesn't make any sense. It kills 40% of people, but if you cure it, people only live 3 years longer. Why?
Because of telomeres. So basically, there's like the length of the telomeres is the argument. I don't know. That's what I've heard.
It's not that.
So like, for example, when they try to lengthen the length of the telomeres, as it gets shorter, basically there's a limit to them. And then once they run out, from my understanding,
but they do that to prevent you from dying of cancer. So
exactly. So in lab rats, they lengthen them and they get cancer.
Richard knows more than you.
You
should
laboratory mice, most of them have been all bred with each other to the point that they all have longer telomeres.
They're not a good. I mean, the guy that discovered that was Brett Weinstein.
Yeah, exactly.
So the issue is, the reason that you only live 3 years longer is because a decaying system causes the pathology of cancer, and it also at the same time causes the pathology of heart disease and stroke and Alzheimer's. And the decaying system, if you cure one of the side effects, you just get the next one. So the problem is the decaying system, and the band-aids that people are trying to put in them just compress morbidity. So you die at the same age, but you get screwed up in a shorter time frame to when you die. So your lifespan hasn't increased at all. The lifespan maximum of a human is 120. It hasn't increased at all. But your life expectancy, the likelihood that you get towards 120, has increased. It's called compression of morbidity. And that's not good enough. It's really not. I want to see longer lifespan, right? Like tortoises live a long time, sharks live a long time, whales live a long time, clams live a long time, lobsters, jellyfish, lots of living things live a long time. Why don't we work on that technology? Now, what if Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison and Alexander Graham Bell were still alive today, working hard? The world would be a better place, but they're not, because they rotted and died like, sacks of meat that we are, and no one's working on that. Everybody's working on everything else that doesn't matter. You want, like, we live in a world of the electron now, and that's great, but we're not made of electrons.
Right.
We're made of atoms.
He's right.
We're the meat space. And we need more people to work on the meat space, because what else is a better thing a human can do than heal another human being? It's the highest and best cause that any human being could possibly have, is to heal their fellow man. And very few people are working on it. They need more money, and they need to change what they're doing from band-aids on stuff where you just get the next thing anyway. So if you can do any intervention, whether it's diet, exercise, or technology like senolytics or metformin or rapamycin, any of those things, if you can get 4 years out of those, it's more valuable to humankind than curing cancer, which kills 40% of people, or curing heart disease, which kills 40% of people. Raw facts. And people don't even allocate their money properly. Breast cancer research is massively overfunded. Like, if you look at the likelihood that you get something versus the amount of money it gets, they're mismatched. So there's so many things that we can do to be a better race of humans, a better group of creatures, that you need to incentivize people to do it. So, I mean, I brag about raising $26.5 million for charity, but I'm not actually the hero. The hero are the people that really put the money in. There was a guy that took $10 million of USDC from Coinbase and put it right into the Sense Foundation, and told Aubrey why he did it. He said, I've been watching your stuff for years, and I always knew that I wanted to invest in it, but I always thought, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. I'll just wait till I get a little more money. And then finally, this Pulse sacrifice phase where he would get free tokens for donating to the Sense Foundation kicked him over the edge, and it kicked a lot of people over the edge. I mean, he was just 10 million. There's 26.5 million so far, and their annual budget that they used to get regularly was about 2.5 million max. And then once in a while, Vitalik would hit him with 4 million. He did it twice. He hit him once in 2017, and he hit him once maybe 3 or 4 months ago. But that's it. That's all their funding. So they were. Let me tell you, man. If you're a not-for-profit and you're only making $2 million a year, you ain't getting nothing done, man. Because you got $350K a year in overhead just for your 3 executives to keep it going. And I know because I've read the reports that they're publicly available, right? So it's a registered charity. They have to report these things. So it's just the thing that could save all of our lives and our kids' lives and our families' lives and the rest of humankind's lives and reduce so much suffering and make the economy so much more efficient. Now people aren't having their very expensive last year of life. Your last year of life is equal to all the rest of your years of life combined in medical expenses. And if we could delay that and keep people productive in the workforce and not rotting in a hospital, it's better for everybody. It's better for everybody. So there's massive wins to be had with healthier, happier people whose, sexy time is more fun, and they're not just dying and rotting and even forgetting who their friends are and who their family are. I
guess the argument would be overpopulation, though, against that.
Just
to take the other side of that.
I'll give you all the arguments. Dictators live forever. No, they won't. They die all the time. It's a very dangerous job. Only the rich people have it. No, they won't. Cell phones, computers, rich people had to have them first. Now look, all the plebs have exactly the same quality. Your phone and your computer are just as good as Bill Gates, probably better, to tell you the truth. You see him in a video, his stuff sucks. What else? Overpopulation, where? Negative population growth in Europe, negative population growth in Japan. There's negative population growth all over the place.
But assuming you were successful, or the Sense Foundation was successful, rather in lengthening lives,
people will just screw us.
Just how destructive we are.
We're not destructive at all. Who do you think is going to? We're not destructive at all.
You don't think so?
I'm going to prove it to you. 99.9% of any living thing that has ever existed is permanently extinct. Every once in a while, an asteroid comes and kills everything. And who do you think the only species on this planet is that can save everything else? It's us. It's the humans. We need to catch the asteroids early and shift them off their path, or everything on this planet will die again. So when I hear stories about us destroying the planet, in fact, we are the only people that can save it. Matter of fact, we're so important that we even generated the concept of importance. And if we die, importance dies with us. The very idea that something matters dies with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we matter a lot. And this,
oh,
and by the way,
not that we don't. Absolutely. Yeah. I totally agree.
And if you're looking at like the overcrowding thing, get an airplane. It's empty everywhere. The only places it's not totally empty are where people want to stack on top of each other because the restaurants are better.
Yep.
That's it. There's no forced overcrowding anywhere, man. There's not.
And there's hookers.
Like Kowloon, Walled City. That was super interesting watching documentaries about 700,000 people, like basically per block equivalently. Like it was insane. It was super cool looking. Wish I could have gone to that. But yeah, I mean, people were happy to live there. It also kind of went away. Nothing lasts forever. That's the one thing I do know. But it would be nice to have a better.
Think about all the energy in this universe that we live in. Is it not there for us to utilize? If you're a religious person and you're not allowed to commit suicide, and God gives you the tools to save your own life, and you choose not to use them, aren't you kind of committing suicide? Shouldn't you use those tools he gave you? Because the game didn't have to be this way. The game didn't have to be the way where you could improve yourself and improve your fellow man, but it is that way. And so I feel it's our obligation to do it.
Yeah. So what exactly is Pulse? Is Pulse related to raising money for the research?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to medically save people's lives. I'm trying to emotionally save people's lives. The books do that, and oddly enough, Hex does it more than the books do, because it gives people that were going to kill themselves something to look forward to in the future. I swear to God, it was the weirdest thing I ever seen. I never predicted that, ever. Because I wrote books to try and help people, and they didn't do anything compared to what the currency did. It was like, okay, weird. So the Pulse is trying to save the environment. Bitcoin only has two functions. Mine coins, which means destroy the environment. 30% of it destroys the environment. Maybe 60, 70% of it is renewable. but you can get all the security without any of those costs. See, in Bitcoin, every day, miners dump the price. And what do they buy when they sell their coins? I know because I was a miner. I used to mine full blocks on my own, 50 BTC block rewards, no pool. I would double click an EXE on my computer, and Bitcoin would come into my computer back in the first quarter of 2011. I was mining on a Radeon 5970 dual GPU thing. And then I bought a farm of them and bunch of 6950s.
I had one of those. Those
there
were
you go.
really awesome.
They were good, yeah. Back then, they were good.
What gets me is this guy even listening?
I used to have to put resistors. Really?
Yeah.
Man,
is this guy even listening?
Well, it wasn't. I think it was probably a further version. But it was definitely like dual cards. It comes with a huge heat sink.
Yeah.
It was later.
I think I was in 11. I think ETH came 13, 14, something like that.
Yeah.
So the inflation that I mined out of thin air, eventually, like, people don't realize that miners just dump the price. They buy electricity and hardware. They sell coins. They don't buy coins. They sell coins. And it's funny because they all would have made more money had they just bought coins instead of mining hardware. Mm-hmm. Mining hardware is a terrible value proposition.
Yeah.
So if you could remove miners dumping the price all the time and still have security, you have increased price performance because you have less negative externalities. It's a more efficient system.
But no, I have a question. Actually, I've seen you turn around back to Ethereum, like Ethereum build using Ethereum before. And in the beginning, I believe you were more on the maximalist side as well.
Sure, I was. Ethereum used to suck. It used to be garbage.
So did you not?
And then it stopped being garbage.
Yeah. So as someone who created Hex, obviously you stake Hex and all of that. The proof of stake obviously might have even played a role in its inspiration. But was that ever anything that you had to battle? Did you ever dislike proof of stake versus proof of work, where you mine like coins versus
Hex? I think is Hex. I don't know if it's the first, but it might be the first hybrid proof of stake, proof of work system. So Hex is interesting in that we use proof of work to do transactions, but not inflation. And then for inflation, you prove that you staked. It's proof of weight. So basically all Hex is Bitcoin with a proof of work change from burn electricity for SHA-256 mining to weight. We just replaced proof of work with proof of weight. And then instead of building our own network and getting 51% attacked all the time, like Ethereum Classic does, we just piggybacked on ETH and it's worked perfectly. It's worked absolutely perfectly. While everything else has failed around us, my design worked perfectly. So
it's funny because listening to Alex as well, I think he didn't bring up the one thing that is the primary reason I've held Hex because I got it for free. Some people just tipped me some and I left it there on.
I bet you did pretty good on it.
I don't know.
You did pretty good on it.
Probably
the
not.
Price went up 380,000%, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not much turns into a lot when you multiply it by 4,000.
What
I thought
himself.
maybe because of
he doesn't know.
I
don't know.
I don't know, but I
went up by 4,000.
300,000%.
Staking it went up by like 7,000 or 8,000.
Clown alert.
Well, that's
Clown
cool.
alert.
I'll check that out. But the main reason I didn't personally go out of my way to get more or do anything, which I don't think he brought up.
Probably looked like a scam to you. Probably looked like a scam.
It still kind of does.
10,000x.
I'll tell you the only reason why. And it's not a scam. It's more like it has a scammy potential, which is different. It could be a scam. Like anything else. And I'll tell you.
Here comes the wrecking.
Become a scam.
All right.
Basically,
Omar, it's coming, bro. You're gonna get fucked up right now.
The one account that holds the 90% or whatever of Hex.
So many candidates for clown of the week.
Sell them, but you had
I need some popcorn
in that interview, which was something about sister chains and them moving over there. And I don't understand how that whole thing works.
Hold on. I run into this a lot, and I think it's really, really funny. I think I can explain this into a way that gives you a paradigm shift in understanding.
Get ready to laugh.
When was the best time to buy Bitcoin?
Last week.
Satoshi owned 100% of the coins.
Yeah.
When was the best time to buy Facebook shares? When Mark Zuckerberg owned 100% of the shares. And I could go down this list to every single endeavor that humans have ever performed, basically. And you'll find that the correct time to buy them for maximal return was when they had low volume, no liquidity, and one guy owned everything. And that was the best time to buy. So when I hear these appeals to like, oh, I wish it were more decentralized, it's literally equivalent to, oh, I wish I had less opportunity. Now let's talk about the value of decentralization. A lot of people think that Bitcoin's decentralized. But when I go to Bitcoin Rich List and Google it and go to BitInfo charts, I see that 42% of Bitcoin sits in 2,100 addresses.
I like looking at his face
Well,
as he gets educated.
Decentralized to me. And then
I know, it's like watching the
pretend it was
cogs
decentralized.
turning
Let's
slowly.
pretend that it was, even though it's not. But let's pretend
think
it was.
it's in one ear and out the other, honestly.
That's supposed to mean the price
it
doesn't
really
dump
is.
because it's decentralized. Some
he's
whale's
being
not going to dump the
Crypto
price.
cucked.
Dropped 65% in 2 weeks for COVID.
Good one.
400 and
That is
not
a good
even.
one. I'm gonna
It's
coin
been
that
like a year basically. So a year ago, it dropped 65% in 2 weeks, and then a year before that, it dropped 85% over a year. So when I hear people with these noob fantasies about how ownership percentages
Look at his face.
affect the volatility of an asset, it really drives me wild because their beliefs are the literal exact opposite of any measurements I'm able to do anywhere. Elon Musk, chart goes up and to the right forever, owns 20 or 30%. SpaceX, chart goes up and to the right forever, massive centralized ownership. Every single successful endeavor that human beings participate in has absolutely massively centralized control and ownership every single time. And that includes the United States, where 1% owns 50% of the stuff. And so I think I know where it came from. I think where people decided that capitalism didn't work and that socialism worked is when they learned about proof of work consensus networks and having to have censorship resistance. And then you have to have variety in the network and robustness in the network, and it needs to be decentralized. And then somehow people screwed up and said, that decentralization that works well in the network, that now somehow applies to ownership percentages. And they all get wrecked because of it. It doesn't make any sense. It's the literal opposite of what is true. The most centralized things go up the most, always.
I think part of it is just due in crypto specifically to the BitConnect mentality. Well, how so many people got rug pulled basically in the entire network, which is different as well because
it's
your
really
coin
different. That was a scam. They lied about everything.
Yeah,
they said there's a trading
lied
bot.
about
There's
having
no trading bot.
He heard nothing. Richard said he heard nothing.
Yeah,
basically. Whereas
you're right.
nothing.
Yeah.
At least
It
yours
didn't
is
even
on
show
the
code
Ethereum
for the
network. You
bot.
can
There was
track
nothing. It was
coins
just a
and
promise.
enjoying the liquidity of Ethereum as well.
Well, the thing is, it's
The
like
rest of the network.
the analogy holds that it really
listened
just
to nothing.
is Bitcoin with a proof of work change and different miners, ETH miners instead of Bitcoin miners. That's all it is. There's no referral program. Can't be an MLM. There's no Ponzi. It doesn't promise you US dollars. It promises you hex. And who pays them to you? You pay them to yourself, just like a Bitcoin miner.
But isn't
Now,
it
is it
the
a
same as a
bubble?
Ponzi? Whether it's fiat
Well,
or not?
then you know what? The S&P 500 is also Ponzi.
Oh, absolutely.
And then so let's go into
It's
that.
all a Ponzi. All of it is a Ponzi.
Well, but I mean,
Oh my
everything
God.
technically can
Really?
be a Ponzi.
these nuances are important. The difference between a Ponzi and a bubble and an MLM pyramid scheme, these are important nuances and differences. So I'll teach. I'll just tell you the ones that I know you don't know that I think you'd be excited by. So people think that when you put your money in the bank, your money gets lent out and then you make interest. People believe that. You probably believe that. No? Okay.
I want to put my partially, yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, that's what people believe.
You put it in there.
I'm willing to bet you think that's what happens.
They don't take
because that's
my
what everyone
money.
thinks.
No, absolutely not. They're just numbers on a screen and they print out.
No, it's even
whatever.
weirder than that. It's even weirder.
This
than
guy
that.
is reduced to nothing.
They never lend your money
He
out.
doesn't even know what fractional reserve
They never
is.
lend your money out. And your money, that when you give it to
There's
the
no
bank,
way he knows this.
not an asset. It goes on that side of the balance sheet. The reason they never lend your money out is because they can make a lot more money using your money as a reserve to borrow a multiple of it from the government at rates that are absurdly low. And so then the money that actually gets lent out is inflation.
And this is what the government does, by the way.
The yield that you get is inflation from the government. And so in a bank, you do not get paid for lending your money out. You get paid for lending out the free inflation for the government, and
he's not even paying
the
attention.
Excuse that they make
He
up
still
and
has
change
no
all the
idea what
time.
Richard's
They
saying.
keep lowering the reserve rates necessary.
It's important what Richard's saying right now.
And then because people look at Hex and they're like, oh, well,
They became
He's not
zero
even listening.
last year at 1.2 during COVID.
Wow, crazy.
I believe they brought them back.
Absurd.
Yeah, they were zero.
Absurd.
I made a harp about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so the point is, like, when you look at a system that's closed and you say, oh, Bitcoin's garbage, it's a Ponzi because that nobody pays for a service. It has no base demand. It's just a speculative Ponzi scheme. It'll all go to zero eventually. Who says this? Nouriel Roubini, Peter Schiff, Nassim Taleb, wrecked plebs. Now, okay, Nassim's made more money than those other two guys. Not all wrecked plebs. So the issue is, I teach people things that they didn't otherwise know that are super interesting, in that in this world that we live in, your yield in your bank is not from lending your coins out. It is from inflation. Your yield as a shareholder in Coca-Cola is not from people selling sugary drinks. It's from inflation. And here's the math on that. True. You go buy a Coca-Cola from a vending machine. Your money never gets to the people that own shares unless two things happen. They do a stock buyback or they do a dividend. And I can tell you that when you look at a chart of the S&P 500 that only goes up and to the right forever, basically, it drops occasionally 10 or 20 years, 50%. And that's it. Oh, the global financial crisis, big whoop, you did a 50% drop. Who cares? We did a 65% for the COVID dip in Bitcoin. So when you have a chart that only goes up and to the right forever, it is not because they're paying out a lot of dividends. It is not because they're paying out a lot of stock buybacks. It is because greater fools are buying. And guess what? It makes them not fools, because they're getting rich and they're maintaining the value of their purchasing power. The only people that are actually fools in this greater fool system are the people that are sitting on cash. Those people are getting annihilated. Because you go to...
Yeah, I find it more difficult to bash Hex in any way, partially because it's kind of proven itself at this point as far as a smart contract, in the sense that it obviously hasn't been hacked. And
we will fuck you up.
The other point being that I guess a big fear, especially early on for folks, was just the price dumping because of those 90%. Ultimately,
well, it has dumped multiple times. I mean, the price has been murdered 5 or 6 or 7 times. I mean, it's dropped 70% like 6 times. Sure. Mm-hmm. It's in the game. Where do you think the yield comes from? It's a closed system. Where do you think the profit comes from? It comes from 2 places: people buying tops and selling bottoms and locking their losses in. Who got their money? Somebody else. That's the same for all speculative instruments, by the way. The second place it comes from is that paper gains are real gains. This is another thing that I teach people that no one else will teach you. Paper gains are real gains. If you try to sell all the houses in the world at once, they all go to zero. If you try and sell all the shares of stock at once, they all go to zero. If everyone tries to withdraw their money at the bank at once, it all goes to zero. So in fact, every real thing that we have is actually probabilistic. So your paper gains in crypto are roughly as real as your paper gains in stocks are roughly as real, right? And then you've got things like the Flynn effect, where something, the longer it's been around, the longer it will be around. And then you've got the Sharpe ratio, which is the amount of volatility that you pay in order to get appreciation. So there's other metrics that you can look at, but understanding that everything to some degree is just paper gains is very, very important.
Yeah, I suppose.
That was big what he just said.
Unrealized gains? Or do you mean
everybody can't sell. And I don't care what it is. If everyone sells, it goes to zero. Everybody sells all the gold at once, it goes to zero.
I suppose.
So everything is a probabilistic guess on what the future value of an asset will be compared to its current value. So if you take something like BitConnect, what was the ratio of people that were going to hear it that did hear about it? And the ratio was screwed. It got so big that everyone heard about it. And then who's the next guy to buy in? It's the same with Bitcoin. Oh, the world's richest guy bought. Guess what, homie? It's time for a bear market now. You got him. You got his money. Now you got to give him a chance to sell the bottom, because who's going to buy after him? So like Michael Saylor buys a couple billion. Elon Musk buys a couple billion. Michael Saylor has a big show to try and get a bunch of other people to buy with their corporate treasuries, and no one buys. Nobody bought. And then Tesla tries to sell cars. I think they sold 1 car. I literally heard the number that they sold. Were there? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't hear a good number then. Yeah.
I know there were a lot of refunds from my understanding immediately after, but some people, I mean, okay. With it. I don't know.
I don't know the good number on that. So I'm not
going
to dive that
exactly.
No.
Yeah.
So my point is, like, I have these unique, awesome perspectives about markets and cryptocurrency that no one else has. And my vision of reality is dominating. I called the top on the day. I called the Bitcoin top on the day and posted the chart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the easiest call ever. We fell out of the parabola.
How did you phrase it? How did you phrase it yourself?
I'll look it up real quick.
Okay. All right.
Hold on. I go to richardhart.com because I brag about myself here.
Oh, you're talking about the recent dump, or are we talking about?
I'm talking about 65K. I called the top at 20K and 65K. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I could click you and read it, or I could just tell you. It's up to you.
Yeah.
I have it here.
My screen share never works properly.
I clicked it anyway. Well, here, let me send you the link. I'll send you the link.
All right.
Our man here is getting
and now
educated.
All you gotta do is look at the time
live on stream,
and then match it to the time on the chart to see it was contemporaneous.
Mm-hmm. And so you saw the parabola shifting. Is that kind of how you?
Yeah, I drew it on the chart. I literally drew the picture. I'm like, green line up, red line down. Hey guys, Bitcoin's amazing run. It's just like when you have a startup and you're like, our amazing journey. You're like, yeah, they're leaving. They're doing something new now. And
so are you still in the bull market mode? Are you?
No, it's over, man.
That you think
we're in a bull trap now. Yeah, this is a bull trap. We're going to go test maybe 48, 50, 51, and then we'll make new lows. That's my opinion.
Okay, that's cool.
And I'm happy to see it because people that are sacrificing right now, they're getting higher value for the sacrifice. So the Sense Foundation's getting more money.
You don't buy any of the S2X stuff, stock to flow model or whatever?
That is garbage.
S2F, yeah.
It failed co-integration. So like basically the guy that came up with that idea was interrogated by Eric Wall and was just like, okay, when will you know it's wrong? When it fails co-integration. And then it failed. And then they're like, pretended it didn't happen. Another thing, it's like when you were telling me like, you know, maybe Hex still sucks or whatever. The thing I want to say is,
I didn't say it still sucks. I said, I said there's potential always. Like if let's say those 90% or whatever were immediately sold to the market, then Hex might be a good buy at that point, just from a trading perspective, because all the coins are dispersed, prices already crashed, and then I have more faith that unless that person bought their own coins back immediately after.
Let's play a fan fiction theory here. Well, the one thing I just want to say, science progresses by having a falsifiable thesis, which means that you need to know when you were wrong. So if you're willing to say that something is a way, you need to make the negative inverse statement, which is how will I know when it wasn't that way so that I can learn from that experience. So people say things and then they never check back on the history and they never learn from whether their guess was right or wrong or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's just, if you're going to say like Hex sucks for any reason, I just want you to know and measure at what point you'll be like, oh, actually it won, because you got to like, look, Peter Schiff should have already figured out that Bitcoin won, but he just hasn't figured it out yet.
He's using it for clout. He already has.
Sure. Yeah, it's possible. I don't want to accuse him of being that smart because I dislike him so. So like, he's good cop, bad cop with his kid buying and him selling, and you're like, okay, good job, bro. So where were we? We were talking inflation, macro.
We were
falsifiable
talking
theses, and then
what do you think about Trace Mayer and his disappearance?
Oh, the fan fiction theory.
Yeah, that's right. We can jump to that.
Let me tell you the theory. Let me tell you the fan fiction I hear.
Please.
The fan fiction that I hear is that I made 1 million Ethereum. Vitalik only has 300,000. The fan fiction is that I made 1 million Ethereum in the adoption amplifier, and that I own 90% of all the coins. Now let me ask you a question. If it were true that I had 1 million Ethereum, why would I need to sell Hex ever? Why? I like Hex price being up. Makes me feel good. When Hex price is not up, I don't feel good.
That's been the test the whole time. I mean, like assuming you own them, then my thought would be the smartest thing to do would be to hold it and not do anything like that in perpetuity. Obviously, that would be the.
Let's say.
But we've seen
game theory, theoretical, optimal play for a person that had 90% of supply of something is to continue to make that thing awesome until it's so liquid that if they ever want to do something, they could.
Right. But in crypto, you see the opposite. You see people taking the quick cash oftentimes
so dumb.
Running away.
I've been retired for 20 years. I don't do that. I've been retired 20 years. I've been retired for 20 years. And by the way, do you know how much money has come in the sacrifice phase?
No.
600 million.
It's a lot.
400 million of Hex, 220 million of stable, 18 million. It's actually, I underestimated it. It's when this Hex was sacrificed, it was worth more. It was worth like 600 million, but then the price dipped. So now it's 400 million. And the stables are at 220. The Bitcoin's at 18 million, 1 million on Litecoin, 1 million on Monero, 2.5 million in Bitcoin Cash. There's a lot of coins that can be sacrificed. And then you look and you're like, okay, this address, it receives tons of coins. It sells them all for stables, but it just holds the Hex. Now, what do you think that does to the Hex price? Now, I have no expectation of work of others or profit from it. But I'm just saying what I see on chain is that it looks like everything else is getting dumped, but the Hex isn't. Interesting. That seems kind of cool if you're a hex holder, I guess, right? But once again, I have no expectation of profit from the work of others. I have to say this all the time. And
of course,
I do the opposite of what other people do. You know what other people do? Let's take Alex Saunders. They tell you a story, and then they get your money, and then they just steal the money. I do the opposite. I don't tell any stories. You want to look about Pulse? Code's done. Go in the GitLab. It's done. Hex, launch done. Like the things that I talk about, usually they're done, right? So I do the opposite of what all these scammers do, selling you these hopes and dreams. I don't even make price call. I'll talk to you about price calls in Bitcoin and price calls in Ethereum, but I'll never talk to you about price calls in Hex.
Yeah.
Claudia.
I had a phone call there or text or something. Cool. Yeah, I wanted to ask you a little bit about actually Trace Mayer. What did you think about that? Just like a blurb on, like, why do you think he completely disappeared, besides obviously the Wimble coin and all that drama? Do you think have you heard anything at all from him? Because I haven't gotten a response.
So here's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I just want to
know.
The
Bitcoin community on public communication channels is violently toxic. Violently. It's insane. And I used to be on that team, and it was fun when I was on it. But then when you're like, hey guys, we need to actually change our worldview because what we've got ain't working and what other people has is working, they're not down for it. And so everyone in cryptocurrency, the cypherpunks, cares about anonymity. They care about it. It matters. This is to free us from government control. This is to give us power over our own lives. I just had my YouTube channel banned yesterday and then unbanned. It ain't a good feeling, man.
That happens to
you.
you
It ain't
too?
a good feeling.
No?
Yeah, it happened to me.
Yeah, I
right
got a
during the
warning.
stream. Deleted.
Yeah.
They just deleted the whole channel. I didn't even get 3 warnings or 2 warnings.
Yeah.
They just deleted the whole channel.
How did you get it back? How did you appeal that? Did
Twitter.
you get a response? Yeah, Twitter.
No, I didn't even mess with any of that. It's just Twitter. I'm afraid to mess with any of that because I think it will shift you into another platform where they can't help you. I think if you like try to appeal, they'll put you in the no man's land where no one can help you, is what it feels like. But this is basically, I ain't going to say the word, but it starts with a T and it ends with RISM. Violent, random attacks against people that are unsuspecting that harmed them. And it's all, you're always wondering, what is it? Was it something that was said? What it was something that was done? And it just happens to everybody. It's totally random. It's not the titles in your text. It's not what you say. It's not, I still try and avoid certain words for luck.
I think it is like what you say as well. I mean, they have the subtitling system set up already. So they're analyzing what words you're using and probably using AI to figure out what you're talking about. And now they have automatic chapters too. I don't know if you've seen that thing supposedly.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I noticed I haven't cursed a single time on the show, and that is roughly a miracle for me. Yeah. Roughly a miracle. I have a potty mouth.
I got to
good job, Richard.
Let me see. I don't know. I guess I can continue.
I'm sure you can come up with something.
I think the one that got you was the hex scam one. Your face kind of shifted there a little bit.
It just we won. Like we won. I'm so tired of hearing that one. Like people talk. Wait, hold on. When rug pull? That's my favorite.
Oh, we won, and we're going to continue winning.
So the fan fiction.
We're going to continue winning.
But let me ask you the other question. I'm showing you how to inverse things, right? So you have your thesis, and then you have your antithesis. You have your art, and you have your negative space in the art. And so, what about a magic carpet ride?
Just
you never hear about that. If you were a really rich guy, and you liked something, maybe you would buy more of it. That doesn't seem like a giant fan fiction theory to me. That seems like what Amazon does when Apple does when they do a stock buyback. They're reinvesting. Well, they're kind of distributing profits to their users, but they are reinvesting in their own company to some degree. And so would you punish founders for reinvesting in their own company? If Jeff Bezos said, you know what, I made money on this other thing, I want to put it into Amazon, people would be like, scam, no, you're not allowed to buy, only us. It's just silly. Like which is it, guys? Do you think I have 1 million ETH, or do you think I need to rug pull you? And how come I never hear about the magic carpet ride? It's crazy. Have no expectation
incoming
of
pump
for me or work for
incoming pump.
But you never hear about the magic carpet ride. I had to come. Well, my community came up with the term.
Watch the candle.
I guess
the opposite of rug pull.
It was is Richard smart enough to not rug pull? I guess that's the big one. And
how's it working out so far?
In that way, it's working. It's all right. It's been okay. I'm up 380,000% on my $5.
13 cents in 10 minutes.
Staking, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Ken Bozak has been like super boasting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think he's got like 150 grand out of his like.
I've always
grand or
been
something.
happy for people to make money. Like I just, what I do is I don't care about money. I've been like that for a while. My thing is about stuff that I think will be impactful. So I actually find what you're doing with Pulse to be pretty impactful.
Well,
so like ETH,
wait till I tell you about Pulse. I haven't even told you about Pulse, man. I didn't even tell you about it yet. It's good.
Yeah.
It's real good. You want to hear about it?
Sure.
All right.
It's fine. Oh yeah. It was no. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right.
Tell me about Pulse.
So imagine, okay, what's the biggest problem? There's only 3 full blockchains: Ethereum, Matic, BSC. What are Matic and BSC? Forks of Ethereum. Okay. Oh, I guess Bitcoin's full too.
Pay attention, everybody.
All the other blockchains are empty. Nobody's using them. Empty. Just speculative comedy. We're going to have smart contracts before ADA. We're going to beat Ethereum 2.0 to market with a better feature set that's more secure as well. Hilarious. So the biggest problem
with blockchain. Pulse is a whole blockchain, and it's going to be
a fork of Ethereum.
It's a fork of Ethereum, and the code's already on GitHub, but it's not released. GitLab, it's not live yet.
Well, we're fighting it. So, you know, we have our private testnet running, works great. And then they're running all these changes because they're doing this EIP 1559 and this fork that's coming up, like maybe this week. It's soon, like super, super soon. The London fork, last one was the Berlin fork. And so they just keep pushing these like changes, and we're having like roll with the punches a little bit. And so we're massaging the network to be able to make it public. And it's just a fight, right? Because the Geth software, it's not actually that good. Like we have a lot of improvements to make to it. We've already had some of those. We've had one of our improvements accepted into the main Geth Ethereum repository. Mm-hmm. So for everyone that's listening, Geth is 90% of all Ethereum nodes. And so when you use Ethereum, you're actually using Geth. The remaining 10% that are open Ethereum nodes called Parity, which is no longer supported and no longer developed.
They have Besu, they have like Nethermind or some other thing. They have a lot. I mean, there are quite a few now.
Nobody uses
at least for clients for Ethereum 2.0. So
doesn't help us on ETH 1.0. So the 10% of nodes, the Parity ones, those are just for stat sites. They're the only guys that use those. All the miners use
they
Geth.
abandoned it for Polkadot.
Exactly.
That's my thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And Geth will be, well, anyway. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's only 5 guys that maintain Geth. So when you hear that Ethereum has 10,000 developers, those 10,000 developers are building things which make the lives of the 5 guys that keep Geth running harder. And Geth is Ethereum. So everyone thinks that Ethereum is like this powerhouse, you know, this indomitable force. It's really just 5 guys keeping it alive. And one of them, Peter Saligi, I'm not sure his last name, how to pronounce it. Yeah. He's like the hero of keeping Ethereum alive. And they don't have enough funding to even hire the people that they want to hire, because the people that they want to hire instead get bought up by guys like me, the Ethereum killers. But I'm not an Ethereum killer. I'm an Ethereum helper. I'll explain how. So we are able to improve Geth, and other people are able to improve it, and it needs help. And there's only 5 guys working on it. So if you're an open source guy and you want to make Geth better, please do. It would be great.
But they're just mostly maintaining it. I mean, all the developers who are really developing are really focused, I think, on like all those other clients on Ethereum 2.0.
Sure.
So I mean that's the big thing. I don't know. So
we forked it. We forked Geth just like BSC forked Geth, just like Matic forked Geth. Mm-hmm. We switched it to proof of work, just like Matic did, or proof of stake, just like Matic did, just like BSC did. And we brought to the table a couple of extra awesome things. So why am I mentioning BSC and Matic? Because they both did very well. There's $8 billion of coins sitting on Matic that they could steal whenever they want because they have an admin key. Now by steal, I mean freeze forever. I don't think they could just send them to themselves, but they can lock them forever. So there's an admin key that can lock forever $8 billion of stuff that's on Matic. That's the opposite of why cryptocurrency was invented.
USDC, I'm pretty sure, is the exact same way. It's there so that they can literally
but it has to be that way. That has to be that way.
That's the banker coin.
The Matic one doesn't have to be that way.
No.
They don't need that. They don't need that ability at all.
Maybe they're doing it because of future regulation concern that they might have to do something.
Is that where you want to put your money?
I'm just positing why they might even want to do that. Yeah. But yeah.
Let's not make excuses for them. Every time we see admin keys, we see horror. Every time. It's the reason crypto was invented was to get rid of counterparty risk. It's the only reason it was invented was to get rid of counterparty risk.
To go back to Hex, doesn't that kind of like counteract against your point of 90% being held by one person?
No, really... because that he doesn't own it. He can just steal it. It's different. People like.
Yeah, I see. I see how you're. It's a little different. But
There's no admin keys in Hex. There's not.
Yeah.
If you want to cut off your nose to spite your face, that's a bad move. It's why miners.
I'm wondering if he's going to understand Hex.
It's why Elon Musk doesn't decide to sell below market.
He's so hung up on the
it hurts him. People act in their own best interest. What is in the best
smart
interest?
Test, Richard. We get it. We get it. You have some sort of brain on your shoulders, unlike we would expect for a lot of people.
Well, what those guys that don't own those 8 billion, what's in their best interest is to take it.
Oh my God.
So our bridge will not have this admin key silliness, just like Uniswap used to not have admin key silliness. Then they have been adding more of it over time, which is kind of sucky. And then the problem with BSC is, one, it's like 20 cents to do a transaction on there now because it filled up. Two, it has twice the attack surface because it's a dual chain system. It doesn't have its own native token. So the native token of BSC, their Ethereum fork, is BNB on the Binance chain, a Cosmos Tendermint chain. And so if either of those chains has a failure, they go down. They also, so in our coin, we burn 25% of the fees and we have no inflation. In BNB, there's no algorithmic burning. Every once in a while, some guy in China decides he might burn some coins, maybe, and then that is set to stop once half the supply is burnt, and it's almost burnt already. So they're not going to have fee burn soon, and it's not algorithmic, and it's twice the attack surface. And so we have superior technological properties to both Matic and BSC. And here's the kicker. Here's the real kicker. So all three of those projects save the environment because they don't have proof of work. All three of those projects have massively higher throughput than Ethereum by like 10 or 20x. We have the largest airdrop in history. So instead of Uniswap getting forked and making PancakeSwap and BSC rich, and instead of QuickSwap on Matic getting rich, instead of Uniswap getting rich, Uniswap is on our chain. So those founders have a chance to get rich. Because instead of the copycats, no, look, there'll still be copycats that do very well. I'm probably going to copy Unity 2 as well, right? So fine. But these guys at least have a chance to be in the game. Because Uniswap's not making any money on BSC, and Uniswap's not making any money on Matic, but the copycats are. Mm-hmm. And what if your coin that's priced out on Ethereum, it's too expensive for you to function? Like I hear Decentraland is wrecked. Like their gas costs are so high that like you just can't do anything. Those guys have a chance with us because you'll be able to transact for cheaply here, and it's the exact same code with lower fees and higher throughput and lower latency and better for the environment. It's the world's largest airdrop. You got USDC, you're going to have USDC here. Now, will it be worth $1? I don't know. Tether got fractionally reserved when the Polish bank seized $650 million of their dollars on the behest of the Polish government. And they were fractionally reserved, and they made up the difference by having a token sale with the Leo token. But it held its peg, and it was fractionally reserved, and it held its peg. And so the question is, how fractionally reserved can it get? Can it go to zero fractional reserve? Maybe. And here's the funny part. How is that maybe? Sure. And people say it's backed by guns. You're like, if it was backed by guns, it would go up in value, not down. It ain't backed by anything, or else it would stop going down. So
I think a lot of things could break for sure if they're not maintained well enough after forking. But it'll be interesting as an experiment to watch.
Well, the USDC guys have an admin key. They can invalidate all the coins, but then their users will probably sue them for screwing them.
Oh,
and then do they want sued by other users for stealing?
It's going to be fascinating then, because we haven't seen a real major Ethereum fork since Ethereum Classic, and I think probably when we get Ethereum 2.0, there'll probably be another one.
Probably.
But
if you ever get Ethereum 2.0, you want to hear what's wrong with Ethereum 2.0?
What's wrong?
First, you want to write some new code that hasn't had a bunch of battle testing and people have lost a lot of money on it, like Ethereum's code that we have now. You're going to learn all those experiences again. People are going to lose money on that new chain. They're going to find where the bugs are, and money's going to get lost. Beta testing new software sucks. Making very slight alterations to improve what we already have and is battle tested is a superior method. Second, the design that they put for their staking is rubbish. It is garbage. It's already lost over $200 million has already been lost to their staking model. In Ethereum 2.0, currently, you need to have $70,000 to buy yourself a network admin job. So if you have $70,000, which is 34 Ethereum, you can buy yourself a network admin job by staking it, which gives you the right to be, sorry, 32.
No worries.
I appreciate it. I had it wrong. So if you have 32 Ethereum, now you can be a validator. And what does be a validator mean? You can go set up network hardware on infrastructure what doesn't go down. If it goes down, you lose money. If a cosmic ray from the sun does a bit flip in your CPU, you lose money. And so now you cost you 70 grand to buy a job, and you might lose money now. And so what does everyone do?
There could be a consensus agreement in the event of some giant flare or something to get people their money back.
No, it's not it's a very rare occurrence. I mean, if you put your servers under a body of water, it happens very rarely, but the server architecture to do that is hard. So the issue is that even if you have 100% uptime, you bought yourself a job and you have a bill, you have a server you've got to pay for, and network connectivity you've got to pay for. And to pay 70 grand to buy a job, people aren't interested. So you know what they do? They give their money to somebody else, and you say, you validate for me. And what happens? Those guys steal the money. So 100,000 Ethereum were already the keys lost. They literally lost the keys.
Wait, when did this happen? I missed this entire thing.
I think it was called Fireblocks. Fireblocks did custody. Custody. Now, why was Bitcoin invented? Why was cryptocurrency invented? To put you in the control of your money and to get rid of middlemen. And so what does Ethereum 2.0's design do? It mandates mandatory middlemen, and people are going to lose money over and over and over again. It's disgusting. They don't even exist yet. Ethereum 2.0 doesn't even exist yet, and people lost $200 million on it already. Hex solves this. We have delegated proof of stake. You hold your keys forever. You don't let go of your keys. You can delegate your stake to somebody else. They will validate and reward you with a percentage of the rewards, and you don't got to buy a server, and you don't got to learn to be a server admin, and you don't got to take your keys out of your wallet and give them to somebody else. It's better. It's obviously better.
Well, there's Rocket Pool coming out for Ethereum. I mean, there's so much being built on Ethereum. Again, like you mentioned, those 10,000 developers, whatever, building and making.
But we're building on Ethereum.
But they're building really cool
Ethereum.
shit.
We are also Ethereum. It's the same code, but better.
Okay.
So the same guys are calling me, telling me
network effect. What about that?
And BSC disproved that. I would not have known that this could have worked.
If number
except BSC
goes up
showed me that it worked.
Okay.
And then Matic did the same thing, and it worked again. And we're doing the same thing, but better than either of those with the world's largest airdrop. It's just awesome. Like I know it.
I'm fascinated about that airdrop idea. I mean, airdrop. It's really just a copy of every single coin.
And your keys just work. Your keys work. You don't have to do anything. You just go into MetaMask and click where it says mainnet Ethereum and click it and click custom and type a new URL and click OK. And all of your coins are just sitting there waiting for you. Yeah. It's so beautiful. It's really cool.
Yeah. If you have the demand and I mean, if trading does blow up, obviously they'll have some sort of value, especially some of these bigger coins. I wonder how much the DAO tokens are selling for. I was just wondering. I got to go on Uniswap. I wonder if somebody's made a pool for DAO tokens. I'm super curious. Or you could create a pool for be a liquidity provider. So, I'm sorry. I was thinking out loud.
Minimum viable launch is a Uniswap front end. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try and have my own fork done of UniV2, but whether I do or not, you're going to have a front end for normal Uniswap. Period. That's going to happen. That's minimum viable. Bridge to Ethereum so you can get fiat in and out because they got pairs listed all over the place. So in the beginning, and it's very important, this launches at zero value so people don't get a tax bill. If you receive a bunch of money, you might owe some tax. But if you don't receive any money, what you receive is just coins that are worthless.
Yeah, they're all.
You don't owe any tax. And then they can accrue value later, and then you can have capital gains if you ever sell or incur some other tax event. So it's a really awesome design, really, really awesome design. So when we launch minimum viable, go to hex.com works because a lot of Hexicans love Pulse. I've seen Pulse tattoos. Pulse doesn't even exist yet. I've seen 3 Pulse tattoos. Maybe I think it's 3, but maybe 2. That's crazy. We've only got 14 or 20 Hex tattoos I've seen. And then, so go to hex.com has to work for eHex and pHex, Ethereum and Pulse. Uniswap front end, bridge, no admin keys, bridge to Ethereum, and that's it. That's your minimum viable launch right there.
How are you going to run the front end? I'm curious.
Which front end?
For Uniswap, as in like to make sure that
I already have
portal.
one. I already have one for V2 now. Like you can go to ethx.com and we upgraded. We got rid of all their uni shilling garbage and just stripped that away, and then put Hex as the primary pair there, so you don't have to like add a list and all this crap. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what open source software is designed for.
Yeah, how many people do you currently have contributing code at least to that?
I mean, I've got like 4 really good devs and a bunch of like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 guys that help out a lot, but they're not full-time guys.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I could go on a hiring spree right now, but the issue is then I'm going to load my existing guys with training the new guys, and everything's so close that I'd rather just let them finish, you know, because it's so close. So for things like the Uniswap fork, you know, I've got a quote in from 2 different guys, and then if it doesn't look right, then I'm just going to have my existing team do it, you know, because they're going to have free time shortly.
This is a way more complicated launch than Hex, from what I can understand. I mean, this is it's not something that it will obviously be too stressful maybe to you.
I don't know, man. This seems easier to me. I agree with you that, like, when you think about it, you're like, launching a new consensus network seems like it should be harder. But I'm telling you that this is like going really good. It's going really well.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm excited to see it. I mean, I am interested to see what comes out of Pulse's launch and how that develops for sure. When do you hope to launch it? I'm sure that's a common question.
I was hoping to get testnet this week, but this week is now rapidly ending.
Yeah.
So I guess it's going to be next week. I mean, it's so close, man.
Is it incentivized a testnet or anything like that, or how does that work?
The private testnet has been up forever, and then we deployed the server infrastructure to make it public. And then you run into like if you've ever tried to use the IAM system inside AWS, bro, I'm a smart guy, but I'm not smart enough to hack it. Can't do it. I tried. I can't hack it. Yeah. So if I dare you, if you have an AWS account, to like click the IAM tab, the Access Manager tab, bro, it's impossible.
Just can't hack it.
It is so complicated. That's like, it's terrible. So, you know, you run into little things like that. You're like, oh, well, I thought it would be easier to provision these network services. So, you know, and then I got to hand that to somebody else to do it because I couldn't. But other than that, I mean, it's the guy that's handling the architecture has handled large architecture before and has it set to scale. And he kind of overdid the testnet. Like, the testnet is basically built to mainnet spec. Because if it were just me and I were doing the testnet, I'd be like, it's a testnet. Who cares if it goes down? Chuck it on one server with no load balancing and just go. And if it falls over, then get another server and load balance them, but don't preemptively optimize. But my team is kind of more like anal, only want to do things perfect or don't do them at all kind of thing. And I don't want to try and change the way they work because they're killing it so well. So I'm happy to just wait the extra 6 days for them to do all their sick load balancing, you know, madness. And I'm like, fine, you know, you want all these clusters, do it. Hope I never have to log in there to maintain them though.
Yeah. What does the architecture look like to get the higher throughput, and how do you hope to make it a more secure system, having proof of stake before even Ethereum 2.0 launches? Like,
we already know it works because BSC and Matic are working with it. So like a lot of these parameters were known to be good to us because those 2 networks are doing volume and it's working. And then some things we had to figure out on our own, like how often are you going to validate? How often can you rotate validators? What percentage of the fees are you going to burn? You know, when the coins get burnt, do they get sent to a burn address? Does it register an event on chain? And there's these individual unique parameters that we needed to like deal with. But things like block time, we didn't. We're just like, okay, BSC uses 3-second blocks, we'll use 3-second blocks. Okay, BSC has 21 validators. I like the number 33. We'll have 33. Sounds bigger. People like it more. But in reality, they're just, you could have 10 or you could have 50, then the network would still be fine. You know, those particular parameters, you only My statement on it is the more validators you have, the lower average quality of validator you get, because there's a power law distribution for the quality of the hardware and the networking connectivity and the admins that maintain them. And so I don't really think that there's much advantage going to higher numbers, because you're just going to have worse quality of experience with worse servers as you go down the list, you know? And then if something sucks ever, you just change it. Like, oh, the government's kicking doors down. All right, well, we're forking the code, and now it's 1,000 validators, and we have slower blocks, but we have more, you know, kick down the door robustness. You don't need to preemptively optimize these things. Like Ethereum preemptively optimized a DDoS attack vector and raised the gas prices 2.6x for hexicans, which is the reason we're having this conversation right now. So Martin Swindon and Vitalik raised the gas costs on average 2.6x for hexicans, because they said that maybe someone could DDoS the network with maybe some very expensive specially formed blocks that take longer to validate. And then because they took longer to validate, you could 33% attack the network instead of a 51% attack. That's a lot of maybes. And how come no one's doing it right now? Because it would just waste millions of dollars for no reason. People don't like wasting their money. There's no way to profit on it. You're just wasting your money. Monero just had hack. If you got your Monero and spent it within an hour of getting it, it wasn't anonymous. Price went up. Ethereum Classic gets hacked, price goes up. So this concept that you could like wreck a network and make money, it doesn't even work. So his preemptive optimization screwed my people hard.
It wasn't just for you, though. It could have been for some scams from
no, it wasn't against us.
Because
it wasn't against us. It was just a poor decision that he made. It's like having two kids and giving one more allowance and seeing what happens. Other people in Ethereum got a discount based on my people getting screwed. Nope, we're forking you now, dude. Now, here's the deal. We're going to help lower the fees on Ethereum by taking load off of it. That should make Ethereum more valuable, I hope. And we want to be friendly and we want to be nice. And so I'm just going to happen
to the Hex on Ethereum? I mean, it'll still be there.
It can't get rid of it. It's invincible. You can't kill it.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's always going to be there.
Hopefully adoption on moves to the PulseChain basically is what the goal
I want to see expensive on both sides. Now, some people don't feel that way. Some people would prefer to just, run with the more efficient system. But me, I don't want to see cheap Hex anywhere. I don't want to. So
we'll see.
I can't decide for the market. The market's going to decide. I'm just saying, like, 10,000 developers in Ethereum are adding load to the poor 5 guys that are Ethereum. And like you said, people are abandoning it left and right. You used to have a multi-client ecosystem. You used to have Parity and Geth. Parity dropped off. And now you've got just Geth. And I would be willing to bet that my team is more likely to improve Geth than the core Geth team is. And so it's like, I'm trying to make the world a better place. I'm trying to make Ethereum better. And I consider it to be a friendly, synergistic interaction. Now, I'll give you a caveat. If there's a war, so right now I'm just planning on doing like a single bridge, efficient. But if there's a war, I can make it wideband and open up a bunch of bridges and open up liquidity and say, you know what, let's have liquidity mining on their side, the expensive side. And now you're going to have to arb 10,000 pairs against each other on 2 chains. And the notational scaling for that is wrecked. Now, I don't want to do that. I want to be friendly. I want to see the Ethereum fees come down. We still got Hex on Ethereum. I want to see Ethereum do good. But if people are mean, I can wideband it and their chain will fill up before ours. And nobody will work over there, but they'll still be able to work over here. And we got the same coins with the same code. Now there will be things that are screwy, like stuff with admin keys where the admin didn't bless you, right? You beg the admin, please admin, don't take the front end down, like DYDX. Please DYDX admin, don't take the front end down. There's no open source version. And then I won't be able to do anything. And then I'm like reading how to use the Etherscan right code function, please. There's a lot of begging going on in DeFi because it's not actually DeFi, it's fake. There ain't no front end for DYDX. There ain't no front end for AAVA or E or whatever. When those guys decided to take that server down, you crying and begging like a little baby. So I represent real decentralization. If I die and hex.com goes offline, you got 10 other sites you can go to. You can go to another hex.com, backuphex.com, hexmob.win, apphex.win, Etherscan right contract function. I'm sure I'm forgetting some.
I don't want you to die. Do not die.
Thank you.
Although I'm sure plenty of Hexicans would be very, very happy knowing that it would never dump. Well, not that you own them or the keys or the keys to that crypto. But anyway,
why is there a sniper red dot here? I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, be careful. Anyway, I shouldn't have jinxed anything like that or even brought that up. But anyway, thank you for not dumping on your folks, Richard. I'm just being facetious,
Good,
of course.
it's all good.
I appreciate.
No, funny thing, I'm actually getting bodyguards just for fun.
You should.
It's weird.
I mean, somebody like of your caliber.
I don't have any really credible threats, but I have so much money that it's like, might as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I'm gonna get laid. I don't know if it's gonna be harder or easier.
No, you got to watch out who you lay with. You got to make sure that the bodyguards stay outside if you trust them. You know,
it'll be easier. It'll be easier for sure.
Your private. Anyway, take care, Richard. Thank you so much again for the conversation. Everybody for joining us.
Can I show my stuff? Can I show links?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, if you wanted to donate to charity, you got to go to scns.org because that get free coins for donating thing. It's over in 3 days and 20 minutes. And then if you want to get slightly more points, you can sacrifice to these addresses to support free speech. But, if you want to donate to charity to get medical research done, you got to go to scns.org and email them at airdrop@scns.org. If you want free books, t.me/scivive. If you want to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/RichardHartWin, PulseChain.com, X.com. That's it.
Telegram. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
awesome.
good talking
Thank
to
you
you,
so
man.
much. Yeah, likewise.
Hey, do you think it's a bull market or bear market?
I'm with the bull. I'm with the bull side. But
So
some
new
might say I have a
all-time
bias
highs
as a YouTuber because we also do better when the price is going up.
It's true.
So I'm aware of that, but I personally feel like it's still doing well. But
Good.
I don't know. You're the one who's been around since.
I make more money if you're right. I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too.
This is a Bitcoin bear, by the way. It's labeled Bitcoin bear.
I think inflation. I mean, I just can't. I think inflation's a real thing. I think number is gonna go up. Dollar value of every single asset. Obviously we've never seen some level of inflation like this, and Bitcoin is here. It exists.
Not my lifetime. In the 70s we did it, but not in my lifetime.
Yeah. So I personally just over the next decade I see crypto prices much higher. I don't care about the short term. Yeah, same. Anyway,
everybody likes you. You're super popular, man. I think it's your tan. People love your tan. I think it's you do videos near the swimming pool. That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm
it's
like
the body, bro.
I don't. I'm hungover as shit today, to be honest. I was like, I woke up like, I'm never drinking. I'm in the desert now. I live in Vegas now, and
crazy.
Like, here the atmosphere pulls like liquid out of your body, and I drank. I had like 6 IPAs yesterday. Not a good idea. Yeah. Anyway, but somehow we made it through this one. So thanks for sticking around.
All right, guess it's over.
I guess it's over. Let's see here. Pull it down and remove that shit.
There we are.
That was interesting.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So Pulse sacrifice phase, 4 more days.
That's it.
That's it.
We got like an hour left until crossover, or I think it hits in 10 minutes or something for PulseChain.
Yep. I'm gonna jump on the old Staker app and see if I can do a bit of a sends donation. But I haven't. It says on there that you can't do it in Hex. Apparently, if you're going to donate to sends on Staker,
I think it has to be USDC or something like that.
Yeah. You've got to do it in USDC or ETH.
Correct.
Yeah, it's got to be something they can sell. Yeah.
Because Hex is the jewel of the crown of the PulseChain, isn't it?
That's right.
It's really the only game in town. I like Wales. So it's good to get on and have a chat to you, mate. But that was it's a lot of information there for everyone to sort of absorb. But I do got a quick question, market domination of Hex, 19 months. We got 19% slice of the pie chart, and everything else is wrecked around us.
Well, right now we're like at 5% because we've had a little bit of a pullback, and I think 5%, the highest. Sorry. Yeah, it's okay. And the highest we've gone, I think, is like 7.1% or something like that I've seen right by tracking it. And this is from when I started at like 3%. So Crocodile Dundee.
I got the Croc special on. Look,
Man, look,
Especially
I was who was it? I
Called
was
The
telling
Croc.
I was telling somebody earlier that they made that movie after you, bro. The movie was based on you.
They made a lot of movies after him.
All right.
But what about America though? Like $6 million man. Like we grew up watching that. We were
Tell us a story,
$6 million man in
Andre.
America.
Tell us a recent story. Tell us a funny story of your escapades recently, if you can. Some kind of funny
I was
story.
going to just like, well, I was just going to actually just segue into what Captain was saying about how we're all going to become sort of OG history and everything. But you might remember, Captain, we had an FN Hangout one night. We had Richard Hart actually came on the show, and he was talking to us. And remember, he's talking about, hey, what did they do in the old days when, like, you know, their crops were waning and they need a bit of rain. They just go and get some, like, let's just go and get some virgins and fuck the shit out of them and sacrifice to the gods, and maybe that'll make it rain. Hey,
Maybe.
I remember that.
Maybe.
Let's make it right.
Well,
We got to do that.
You know what I like to see in Australia is like bring back the Royal Doctor services. Like, or you know, I thinking that I just heard recently that the Flying Royal Doctor Service in Australia has been defunct for some time. I don't know what's going on there, but like, you know, like that's
Must be
you
the
know,
pandemic.
that
Must be really busy.
I mean, come on. Anyway, so I reckon like that it was your idea, RG3, this whole pirate thing with you know, here we all are. And Richard Hart came on and started to talk about sacrifice. It was at least a year ago. So he's like 2 or 3 steps ahead of all of us.
If anybody could find Hex,
Down here for dancing.
if anybody could find Hex, it would be Unwrecked.
That's true.
If anyone could find,
Mate,
it would
I
be
came in, had a look around, mate. I saw the best thing, Hex, crypto. Was like bang. I was down the hole like a rabbit straight away. Beautiful game theory, best in crypto. Everything's great about it.
How's life? How's life now, Unwrecked? How's life?
Oh,
Yeah, whereabouts in Australia are you unwrapped?
In the Northern Territory.
Are you in the territory? That'd be amazing if you were. I'd be so happy.
I don't want to dox myself at the moment.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm on the road.
Fair enough.
Planning a big road trip. We're going on tour. That's it.
I feel like
Australian
you live on
tour?
tour though.
Big country. It's a big place. It's a big place. The desert. We got everything over here. The beaches, the waves, surf.
You got
You'd
mountains.
love it. You'd love it here.
Mountains too,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Like the largest sand island in the world. And it's got like you can go from like some of the like ancient, like you just imagine dinosaurs roaming like it's untouched for millions of years, like some of the natural heritage in that. Yeah, it's amazing place.
I got a question.
And the Northern Territory is where to go. The Northern Territory is where to see, like Kakadu National Park, and of course, you know.
Aren't you
The Rock.
worried? Australians, I know you Australians are badasses, but aren't you worried at all about the spiders and the crazy animals that you have, like in your sleep?
We share the same
crawling up
love
on
of
you like
guns
this
that
and going
you guys do.
"Arr!" on your face.
See, this is the funny thing about Australia at the moment. Like, we're pretty hard folk, right? We've got like snakes, we've got spiders, pretty
I
much
respect
everything.
that so much.
Pretty much everything can kill you, right? But at the same time, everyone is like,
well,
excuse the French, but shit scared and holed up in their house at the moment.
We just
which is pretty funny, really.
We just had a creature jump into the green room, everybody. So I'm gonna bring him up.
Is this the
Yes.
gay bar? Where am I right now?
No way.
Yes.
No way.
What's up, everybody?
Good to see
Hello,
you.
Richard.
Hey,
Richard.
Richard.
You were so kind to Omar
Yes.
there, even though he
I felt like an asshole. I felt like I was being condescending and I was trying to lighten it up, but
he was.
I didn't know.
He didn't
How else to
deserve
do
it,
it?
though.
He hit you right at the end with, "Oh, thanks for not dumping the coins."
I
That
think you did a great job.
right at the end. Oh, thanks.
I
for
just,
doing
I
that.
mean,
That
I
was
tried.
fun
I
to say.
wanted to be nicer. I thought I was nice, but I was nice, but it just seemed like I was shitting on his points too hard, you know?
I think you did a great job, Richard. I think you did a great job, and we
I think you
enjoyed
were
it.
really nice.
Yeah. Richard, is
All right.
someone who's seen all
I don't
of your
think I
videos-
cursed. I don't think I cursed the whole thing.
Nope, you didn't do the whole
No,
thing.
you
Wow.
didn't.
That
That
was
was
like
the
a
first time
first
ever.
I think
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
the first ever.
No. Crazy.
And I personally, I really appreciate that, Richard, because I've seen all your videos, and to see you kind of soften up and not be so abrasive, I think is going to exponentially
I'm like Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
I'm always
Don't make me angry. Yeah, exactly right. That is exactly right.
You're doing great, man. You're changing your style. You're changing your voice, and you're not cursing anymore. It's great. It's great, and we need this to move forward, man. Perfect. Keep on rocking. Thanks, you. Man. Thank you.
So, what have you guys been talking about? And cool.
We've been watching you.
We just got done watching your live stream.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I got to go on a little bit of the more tactical stuff, I guess. It's funny. It's like when you run into these little. I bought a bunch of computers. I have so many computers now, and popped a breaker. I have so many, and you build them, and you run into these undocumented problems, and then after you Google enough, you're like, "Oh, I'm just screwed. This ain't gonna work." So I wanted to put like 12 SSDs. Or 14 total into one of these nice X5950
solid state
AMD chips. Yeah, and then so it's 2 X16 video card slots there. I'm like, fine, 2's fine. And so I figure, okay, 4 X4 SSDs, 4 times 4 is 16. This 16 is going to work fine. And then you read the hidden documents that aren't in the instruction manual in the device. They're not on the website for the device. Some weird random page on some weird support site tells you, oh yeah, on this motherboard, it only sees 2 of the drives on each thing. And you're like, well, I'm just screwed then. Like it's nothing. I've been fighting settings in the BIOS for like 2 hours on this, and there's no winning it now. It's an actual hardware problem. I hate when that happens. I hate it.
Correct.
And there's no reasonable way I could have avoided that. Like,
and they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that beforehand either.
Yeah.
You have
to hate those kind of problems.
Richard, what was your first computer?
I had an 8086 or an 8088. I think it ended with 88. I think I had an 8088 SX with a monochrome monitor, a yellow, orange, amber monochrome monitor.
Wow.
It was really bad. It was really not good. I don't think I ever saw pictures on that. I think I had to upgrade the computer to see pictures.
Nice.
And have like more than one color in the screen.
Wow.
But then I had AOL and I could see boobs. It took a long
Do you remember those little pink
the
old days we had those little Hanimex things where you played like the ball just go across the screen?
I mean back before that
quality
was my
versus
first
quantity.
Computer. But before I had my own computer, I had like an Apple IIe, and we played. You try and cross the water, Oregon Trail, and Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego. Those were like the popular games when I was in elementary school.
Yeah,
fourth and fifth grade.
Richard, you're dating yourself a little bit, so.
No,
I'm a hot guy. Dating? I love dating. To get a man like myself is high quality.
I love that back then you had to make the decision whether you're going to be able to take phone calls or let the boobs load.
Right. Yeah.
Those were hard times.
You pick up the phone. Hang up the phone. It was funny. I used to play Doom on this bulletin board system because the internet didn't exist yet. There was no internet.
Yep.
So we would play Doom versus each other on the playing fields, but you had to pay for that. So we almost never went there. But then this rich guy in Miami had something called TGC, the gaming center, and it was like free. So we played on that. And then one day, like after a year of being there and playing and having fun and stuff, it was awesome. I loved it. He added like www access. And you're like, what is this? What's the www? Where does that go? Because back then it was just walled gardens. It was just like you had AOL and or CompuServe, and that's it. You got to choose which internet were you on, and they didn't talk to each other. And then like the actual World Wide Web came out, and then you could go in between things. It was crazy.
Do you remember, Richard? Do you remember? You talk about Quake. Do you remember the railgun? Playing with the railgun?
I used to play the railgun all the time. I had one friend that would always beat me. It made me so angry.
How addictive
one guy
was the
would
railgun?
murder me every time. It was my favorite, but I mean, I was more. I like Doom 2 better than Quake. The third dimension didn't do it for me. The 2 dimensions was enough. I liked that.
Y'all think you're old. My first computer was a Commodore 64.
Mine too.
Yeah, you're actually older than me.
We had cassette tapes
Gen
for
X.
the media.
Yeah.
You had to put all the information on cassette tapes.
You didn't get
was-
the discs yet.
It was.
That was
we didn't even have the 3.5 floppies yet. I mean, it
You
was.
had to wait 10 minutes for the game to load. It was like
There was no games.
No,
There
there
wasn't
Weren't
no
any
games.
games. Ping pong was like new
Pac-Man.
age and shit.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
You had to program everything.
With punch cards.
No, the cartridges you can put in them. You can put in a Commodore 64. No, like Atari, the Atari. You can put like a cartridge in the Atari and play Space Invaders.
Yep.
I'm looking up. You know, the day ticks over in 5 minutes, so that's like
Nice.
the end of the ranking phase, and the
End
next
of the
3 days
ranking
are just
phase.
flat. Yeah. So
Yeah,
when this
I
day
was
ticks
about to-
over, the little guys get like a chance again. The whales don't
really?
do as well now. Yeah, because if you were a whale, then you could get up to 2.5x now. But if you weren't a whale, you might get like a small bonus. And so so if you could have gotten in the beginning, I think that was the best for everybody no matter what. But
Yeah.
then if you didn't hear about it until now, for a small guy, it's probably better to let this tick over to the next day where the rate is 5% higher, but you're getting a 1.75x flat bonus instead of, if you're a really small guy, if you're the smallest guy, you don't get any bonus. It's just 1x, right? So like, or he gets a very, very small bonus unless he puts in, it's basically 1x rounded. So yeah, I mean, people were posting spreadsheets about this and I retweeted them to try and show people like, if you got this amount, then this is the right time and all this stuff. But I didn't check the math. So I just hope they're done right. I hope.
I
So
looked
this
at
is
it.
basically like an Easter egg for broke people and by broke, I mean,
So-
I think if you're putting in less than 500,000, then probably waiting until the
There's
day
a
ticks
man
over
named
is-
Gunther who kind of went through all of the
Well,
addresses.
he's an actual accountant, I think. So his maybe is probably good, I guess. I mean, like,
He came.
he's an admin and he's an accountant. So
I got it from him, and I kind of followed what he set up. So
what
sounds
was
good.
his? I don't think I've seen his thing.
He said day 17 is going to look really good for a lot of people who are not already 600K plus in the
Okay.
volume phase.
Yeah. So my 500 was close based on the other guy's sheet. Sure.
So anybody who's below that, who has anything left, is going to look better to put a lot of money in on day 17 because they'll get better returns.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, so basically what you're looking at this moment is what is the likelihood that the difference between the 1.75x flat you'll get tomorrow is much larger than what you would get now if you're a small guy? Well, it's very high. It's very likely. Like if you're getting a 1x now, 1.75x is a very big deal tomorrow. And then how much of that gain is chipped away by the 5% rate increase? That's the math. And so I'm very comfortable saying that these guys' numbers seem right and that there's some, bound at which it flips to being optimal to be now. And if it sounds like 4 or 5 or 600K, sounds reasonable.
It's right around there. It's like 3 or 400K. And
it's a dynamic system that changes based on how many other people do a thing. And those are, you can't predict those because you can't predict what other people are going to do. Like if you were to ask me when this launched, like would, 600 million come in? I didn't know, there's no way to know. Like if you would ask me like, what's the ratio of Ethereum chain to Bitcoin chain? No idea. But now I know, there's like, if you just count stables, there's maybe 220 and then there's 18 million of Bitcoin. So it's like 10 to 1, So it's like 10 times as much Ethereum network energy being sacrificed as Bitcoin energy.
Are you excited, Richard? Are you excited for what's to come here?
No, I don't know why. I just work.
No?
That's what I do. I wake up, I work, and then I work more and I keep working. And I'm not focused on the exciting part, I guess. I'm focused on the stuff I got to do, you know, like,
yeah.
I'll be excited.
You love
There's
your work.
going to be
You must
some
love your
moment
work
where I'm
then.
excited, probably.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your hard work. I just want to tell you that. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Like,
So
the internet's mean. It's nice to hear nice stuff sometimes, you know?
Yeah, well, we all know that because we've been beat about the head and neck furiously for the last year and a half, almost 2 years. But
Yes,
I got a question for you, Richard. You
want to know what gave me a heart attack today?
What's
that?
that?
Gave me a heart attack. I've had numerous heart attacks recently. First heart attack was when I thought there was 300 million on Bitcoin sacrificed, but I was off by a factor of 1,000. And then my YouTube channel literally was deleted entirely.
Right.
And then I go to the sacrifice address and there's no USDC. I'm like, what is going on here? Why is there no USDC? Well, there's so many people sent so many stupid coins there that it filled up. And then they just dropped USDC off the list. But if you click like more, it'll like show you the hidden USDC. I was like, oh my God, why? Dude, the heart attacks, man. That was my third heart attack. I'm like, come on, what is this crap?
Deep breath.
Oh my God, dude.
In threes.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine
you
go to check an address that you care about and it's just gone? You're like, what?
Yeah,
what dude, terrible. Like, man.
So now that you do know that there's like 600 million plus in that sacrifice address, how are you feeling about it? Is it beyond expectations? Did you have any expectations? Do you feel accomplished?
Work.
Like, to me, that's like such a huge
I
accomplishment.
feel more accomplished about the 26 million for the Sens Foundation.
Yeah,
that's
amazing.
Like, that's, in my opinion, remarkable, because those guys were basically just surviving on 1.5 to 2.5 million a year, and then every 4 years, Vitalik would hit them with 4 mil and a bull run, and that's it, man. They weren't thriving, you know.
Yeah,
but now they have the ability to thrive and make more progress because they're not wasting the money.
Right.
They will put this into actual really good research. And so, and no one else is funding it. It's just silly to me. Everybody else is funding all this stuff that, you know, my grandparents are dead and none of this other crap that these people are funding helped them. They're out. My dog's dead. Don't know how long my parents are going to last. And hey, look at me. I'm dropping weight, but wouldn't hurt to drop it quicker, I guess. It's like, we need to solve this stuff now. We don't have time to screw around anymore. I mean, I'm 40 years old. I'm even older. I'm 41. And it's time to now, one, live the dream, dominate, take over, and two, invest in that research that needs to be there in 20 years when I need it.
Dude, there's
so
that's awesome stuff, mate. That is really awesome stuff. I would say that.
We got your back, Richard.
You know, the pathology of disease and the fact that you've gone into the depth of knowledge around that body of knowledge there is really important. And I was actually talking to a medical practitioner during the week about the Sens Foundation, and they're really, you know, as you say, it is the most noble thing to be able to heal another human being. And I think that the core value there that you've got underpinning all of this stuff is just second to none, mate. Like, it's in respect to you and utmost, you know.
Thanks, man.
I mean, you've potentially fast tracked, based on their numbers of 2.5 million a year, you've potentially fast tracked that technology by 10, 15 years.
I hope so. And I want to give a shout out. I'm going to brag like heck about getting that 26.5 in there, and hopefully it's more over these next 3 days.
Go for it.
But the real heroes are the people that actually donated it. And so if you're one of those guys listening that was part of the people that added up that 26.5 million, good on you. I really appreciate that. You know, the life you save might be your own. Thank goodness. So those are the real heroes, the people that actually put the money in. It's nice that I was able to help, you know?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think, like, as a person who, like, I consider myself like a relatively educated person, but some of the like information and stats that you've been putting out there have just like totally opened my mind. Even the stuff around, you know, curing cancer is only really going to give us an extra 3 years of lifespan. Like, never having had the information presented to me in that format before, just it
like which thing?
Like the thing about the fact that if we actually solved cancer, which, you know, people are more than happy to donate to cancer foundations, you'd only live an extra 3 years. Like that's mind-blowing.
And it'll be a crappy 3 years too.
And a crappy 3 years. And like, even though the stats are right there, it's almost like I hadn't opened my eyes to that before having it, you know, presented to me in that format. And
I think I'm the only person advertising that. I think it's just me.
100%. I've literally never heard it that way before. And it changes the way you look at the whole thing when you understand that. So yeah, really cool, man. Love it.
Richard, can I tell you
hit
something?
Omar with a bunch of
No,
unique
you
stuff.
can't. You can't.
Go ahead.
Because I've been trying to ask a fucking question ever since he's come on the goddamn stream.
Captain puts himself in the top left. I think it gives him the dealer position.
I've been trying to get Richard on the stream for fucking ever. And I finally get on. You guys won't shut the fuck up. I'm going to mute all of you in a second.
He messages me a lot. This guy with the weird bandana on his head, the Vato over there, he's messaging me all the time.
Yeah. So the question I want to ask Richard is shut the fuck up, Benny. God damn it. We're fucking out of here. So Richard, when it comes to what you've done, God damn, man, I can't even shut Timmy.
Wouldn't be
up.
a stream if Benny
Timmy.
didn't get ejected.
Oh my God. Okay. So we've got Hex. Hex has blown the doors off of Bitcoin. You've just wrecked them. They just don't even know it yet, is what the thing is.
The guys that
literally
free claimed that are up 10% on their Bitcoin bag. If you
I got a
you're up
buddy
10%.
that free claimed a bunch of it here, and he was like, "Oh man, you guys did really well," and he even called me to congratulate me because he sold all of his once he was able to pull it out, right? And wrecked. But so you've dominated crypto with Hex. You've destroyed Bitcoin. Pulse is more than likely going to dominate what Ethereum
Have you
has
seen
been
how
trying
many
to
people
do.
are in the chat room? The chat room's crazy.
It's insane.
The Hex chat room has been around 10 times longer, and I think the Pulse chat room is 40% bigger. And I don't
everybody's
see any,
excited about it.
I don't see any like fake crap. Like they look like real users.
And everybody is excited about Pulse. I mean, everybody that hates
35K.
Hex is like, they're
I'm
happy.
telling you, people that hate Hex are getting in Pulse, man. I'm telling you.
They are. So
sure.
So here's my question to you. As we see like the shit that went on today where people are buying like $5 million worth of punks, they're all screaming weird, crazy shit. Crypto is like wrecked itself.
Hate it.
Do you think that you are literally separating Hex and Pulse from crypto and creating a whole new crypto infrastructure?
Nope. I think it's going to be a real cluster screw of scams on Pulse, man. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you. Like, bro, when BSC came out, everybody took all the scams from ETH and reloaded them on BSC. And I guarantee you're going to see the same thing happen, man. You're going to see the same thing happen because this is when you have truly innovation, when you have permissionless innovation, the scammers come in first.
They're not.
And this is the reason we're not letting people shill projects in Pulse chat. Wait till Pulse exists and we'll make a separate chat for you guys to shill whatever garbage you plan on doing, because most projects in crypto suck. Most projects in crypto are where you go to lose your money or get rug pulled or get dumped on. And I would imagine you're going to have a metric butt ton of that on Pulse. And we're going to have Pulse dev chat, Pulse promo chat, and you want to go into the wild west of buying crap you shouldn't, that's that chat over there. And go talk about all your hourglass games and frog pictures and whatever else crap you want. You go right there. But I mean, like, Hexicans are awesome. The Hex community is awesome. But we built up an immunity to these things because we have been scammed before. We've been attacked before from the inside. People act like good people and then they switch it. And you're like, oh, that's what was going on. You were working an angle. And so
everyone loves the Peppy meme. Come on. Everyone loves the good.
I do love the Peppy meme. I do love them. And look, I love those things. They're great, but overpaying for them is not great. I support NFTs. Yeah. I support art. I love it, but I don't support you losing your life savings on it. I don't support that.
Fair call. Fair juice. Yep.
I love memes, bro. I got Photoshop, homie. I know what's up.
Memes are the best, but when you can literally pull the same thing online for free of charge, why in the hell would you pay for it?
Or the thing that you're getting was procedurally generated 16-bit, lowest quality possible, lowest effort possible. Literally, you didn't even make it. You had a machine made it. It's the worst. There's nothing worse. It's like computer
Super Nintendo.
You look at it and you're like, why is it so pixelated? Oh, it's art. No, it's just because that's the only garbage the computer can do. Like,
isn't it also that like the actual blockchain really bears no connection to the hosting of the NFT? So
you buy an NFT and it's not hosted anymore. It's down. You're like, oh, my NFT died. Can someone host that, please? It's not even on the chain. I just have a loosely related serial number.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, guys? Hold on. You guys want to be pumpermental about it? You like NFTs? Pulse doubles all your NFTs. Congrats. You know,
someone else's.
That's what I should be.
So much for that.
I should be saying that. I love NFTs. It's the future. It's the future. You get double.
You have a semi-rare JPEG.
And then this week, let's just spam the network so it's completely unusable.
I really should emphasize that because it is actually a big deal. I bet you those silly things have value on our network. So I might have to stop savaging them so hard. They don't like it when you say these things. They don't like it.
I think they
if
will.
you buy $1 million JPEG, you really want people to think it's cool.
Right.
Just tell them they really
make fun of my Rolexes.
It's a figment of their imagination. It really doesn't exist over here on PulseChain.
I saw a recording. Can you play a video over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one?
I'm gonna try and pull a recording for you.
Drop it in the private chat there.
I gotta try and beat it out of Google.
Richard, while you're pulling that video up, can I ask a simple question?
Yeah, sure.
The exchange license that you applied for recently, if that goes through, will that include exchange in the United States, or is that? I figured
not.
Nah.
US is hard. There's no passporting in the US, so you have to do state by state.
That's what I thought, because like the New York
agreement.
Do you think USDC will be the dominant stable on PulseChain, or will there be another stable
have
coin?
No idea. I really don't know. I don't know. I can't wait to find out. I don't know.
That's all we're all strapped in for.
I mean, look, I personally, I don't like admin key stuff, but if you already have admin key stuff on mainnet for those things mostly, so
okay, maybe that's just less.
I don't know.
Understanding of what a stable coin is, or USDC is saying there's an admin key on USDC that they can just basically unlock and devalidate all the coins. I heard you say that earlier.
They can lock everything and make it untransferable.
Wow.
You will not be able to transfer it. USDT has it. USDC has it. I don't think DAI has it.
Oh, gee whiz. Okay. Well, maybe there's an opportunity there on Pulse for it to have a good algorithmic stable.
Well, I want to make a stable coin too, and having an exchange makes it easier to do that, but that's going to be a while out,
Yeah.
So I wish I had a better answer on that. I can't tell what the market's going to do.
Well, I like the ETH Hex relationship anyway. I just like the market machinations and the theater of the looking at the chart.
Nothing's ever been done like this, man. Imagine you made a copy of the S&P 500. You're gonna what's the second Coke worth versus the first Coke? I don't know.
Like you said, it's gains. It's paper gains, and it's worth something.
Yeah, Unisocks are worth 20, 40 grand, something like that.
Right?
They're socks. So pictures. Every picture of a dog coin is worth some stupid number. You're like, okay,
right,
cool. Copy paste it. Good stuff.
So, Rich, let me ask you.
When I hear that, it's good.
I got a question for you, bro. I'm interested. What was the easiest thing that you thought was going to be the most difficult to accomplish on the chain?
The fact that the proof of stake written from scratch, validator rotation with front end that people can use to change their validators, and that stuff is all done, and it was done fast. And I was like, wow. Even the sacrifice phase actually went pretty good I mean, everyone just talks about how easy it is.
Right.
And all the like people try and scam our users. Almost nobody got scammed. Almost nobody. Any other like thing similar to what we're doing, people are getting scammed into oblivion.
Yes.
We didn't have any of that. So I mean, we just hitting it out of the park. Even got lucky on the unbanning my account. Glad that happened, but it's terrorism. It's literally terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, we're going to randomly attack you, and you'll have no idea why, and you're going to endure great harm, and you're going to live in fear.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy.
It is digital.
This is important to you. We'll kill it at any moment for a laugh.
Yeah.
Right.
And with no right of redress, you can beg and
Right.
hope.
Right.
It's disgusting. It's really, really terrible.
No recourse, no form of recourse, and it's digital terrorism, and this is why it's important for people to understand that there are other outlets out there that they could go to, right? And I've already.
Well, what I'm going to do, here's what I'm going to do. I tweeted about a project that lets you stream using torrent technology. I'm going to try it out, and so I'm just when I do streams, like so. Here's you have to go where the fish are. If you want to catch fish, the fish is on YouTube,
right.
And I see scams on YouTube, constant and never ending scam comments with fake picture of me, fake pinned by Richard Hart username, constantly scamming.
And they're
not having any problem. They're not having any problem.
They don't get banned.
Constant fake live streams, 20,000 viewers, fake ones. Elon Musk giveaway, Vitalik giveaway.
They make me sick. I see them all the time.
As long as those guys can do that, I can do that. I can figure out what they're doing. And Richard, I can do that too. So as long as the scammers can be on YouTube, I can be on YouTube. But it's just harder. Because now I've got to play a game I don't feel like playing really. Right. I'd rather be doing something else. But
no choice, unfortunately.
I've got a question. And my question is, did you think that when you were going to start this for the gas, like immediately we got screwed over with the S load, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think this was going to become something as big as it's become? And have you become more motivated?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, have you like got this fire under your belly now? Because we can see it and it's getting us all motivated too, because we can see you getting motivated and it makes us more motivated too. And we're happy.
What do I spend my day thinking about?
And we like it, you know?
Yeah, I'm so focused on the actual tasks. So here, I'll try and make the analogy for your question. Basically, I'm making a cake. And when I'm making it, I'm looking at measurements and I'm making design decisions and I'm trying to beat the numbers out of Zcash. And I've got this guide that somebody wrote me. And the step 1, install a full node on Debian. Great. Well, I don't have any Debian machines, so let me go build one. And then, that's what I'm doing is the minutia. So I don't get to think often, actually, about the dream of like how awesome it will be when, everyone's arbing like ETH versus Pulse ETH and like, or ETH versus Pulse. And, you could bridge it both directions, all this stuff, like it's going to be crazy. Like there's literal madness coming and it's coming soon. And I think it's going to be amazing, but I never get to focus on that because I'm sitting there measuring eggs and stuff,
Something I've noticed about you, Richard, is like, I think there's a skill set that comes to you so naturally that you're not particularly aware that you're actually doing it. Like something that I see you do really, really often is that when a resistance comes against you, when a challenge comes up, you end up using that to create a situation that becomes better than it would have been had the resistance not been there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
true.
It's kind of like a bounce forward rather than a bounce back. Yeah, and I think that's something that, for whatever reason, your just calculus just naturally takes you there. And I'm not even sure you're aware you're doing it, but man,
drive me to greatness, buddies. You want to gatekeep? Fine, we'll mark it harder. Hey, you want to make it hard to get this stuff? Fine, we'll have an exchange. Hey, you want to raise our gas costs? Okay. Well, we're going to help lower your gas costs because we're nice. So, like
it's confidence too. It's backing yourself in. You back yourself in on all of those things, and you've got that.
They're forcing
that knowledge
me to
base on
greatness.
them.
Yeah, like this S-load thing, like rather than just, bending over and dealing with it.
I would not have forked Ethereum had they not done that.
Exactly. We now have the biggest airdrop in history.
Yeah.
We have an entire system state
and we
forked
raised
and
$26
duplicated.
million for charity.
Exactly.
That would not have happened. There was no way that money was getting raised had I not decided that some people deserve to be rewarded for it.
And that's a mainstream media story. That is like big news. Should be.
Should be. We got one good mainstream article, nothing else. Apparently Business Insider wants to talk to me. Cool. That would be neat.
What can we do to get you on some mainstream?
You need to personally call and email the people that book these things. Local news, national news, newspapers. You need to try. Because I'm busy doing other stuff.
So if you know anyone in the industry, if you know anyone in the media industry, you've got some connections.
Even if you don't know the industry, they have an email. Email them. Give it a try.
Yeah. Just smash them a lot, yeah.
We got to do it. We got to.
Because it's a good story. It's a good story.
It's better than a good story. It's a great story.
It's
Has
humongous.
Bitcoin donated anything to charity anytime soon? No.
No, nobody's ever done
But we did.
kind of money.
Yeah.
It's too big not to be talked about.
Big
Way
freaking
too
deal.
big.
I hope so. So
It's
guys,
like this-
I'm going to
this-
go fight my computer a little bit. And I'm
All right,
curious
hold on.
about what's going on since the day's about to tick over. Or did it already tick over?
It did.
Just ticked.
It ticked over 20 minutes ago.
Yep.
Nice.
I
19
got
minutes
one
ago.
more question for you, Richard, and I want you to look at the camera while I'm asking you this because I want to see
Hard,
your face.
actually. It's really weird. It's just a
Look
black
right
hole,
into
dude.
it. Yeah. So it's a very simple, easy question, but I want to see your face and look at the camera
All
when
right.
I ask you this.
Yes.
Are you Satoshi Nakamoto?
No. I would have done so many things different. I would have made the block rate be linear. It wouldn't just chop in half at one moment in time every 4 years. It would just be linear the whole time. Why chop it like that? I would have made an algorithmic block size increase. I would have came out and used my public keys to be like, yo, fake Satoshis, not me. All
That's
kinds
enough.
of stuff. Yeah. I would have,
That's enough right
owned
there.
the .com. I would have owned Bitcoin.com instead of like, oh, look, someone else owns it. But I mean, I say that, but we had Hex.win because 3-letter. It would have been very cheap for him to get a 7-letter dictionary or whatever he got. Hex was not easy to get. It's a 3-letter dictionary.com. It's like, it is the best domain name I know of. Maybe Sex is a better one, maybe, but they're pretty related, like what's a better name? What's a better domain name than Hex? It's
Sex
crazy
was-
good.
Sex was up there when it got sold, actually.
Yeah. They actually got stolen. The
Oh, yeah, there's
sex.com
like a
domain
big-
name was
yeah,
stolen as
you're
well.
Right, you're right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
We old people. This
what it-
happened in like 2002 or something. No, earlier, even earlier, like 96, 97 maybe. I don't know, man. It's a long time.
Yeah, it's been a
Well,
while. I don't remember the
you've-
details.
You've done a better job than Satoshi did at making a crypto with Hex, and then you've also gamed the shit out of Ethereum. So hats off to you. You did a great job.
Let's keep winning
It's
games. Let's
gonna
just
keep
keep
going.
winning games. Why not?
Yeah.
There's a world of
I mean-
suck out there. There's really a world
Big
of suck
suck.
out there. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
try and send people to Matcha and 1inch, because they're good services. And half the time Matcha doesn't work. It just doesn't even work. They've
I
dropped
know.
like the search doesn't work. And you're like, I feel bad sending people there because it literally just fails so often.
Everybody's
And
not
so-
getting orders filled too, Richard.
I've
Oh,
got
like
very
MetaMask.
bad.
MetaMask doesn't even know how to send an ERC20. It underestimates the gas limit. Like, what is you had one job. You had one job to send ERC20s. You had one job. Why can't you do it's the same number every time? Just set it to 70,000. Like, why is everyone's transactions failing? They cost them gas when they fail. They have to pay more gas
Yeah.
again. By misestimating it, you're costing them money. Just how do you screw that up? It's impossible to screw up. I don't understand it. Why do I have to write on my website that you manually have to change what MetaMask is doing because it doesn't work right? Oh, man, I could tell you so many stories. Hey, why can I only write a description that's this long? Why do I have to click edit? Why can't I see my balance across different accounts? Why can't I sort by those balances? It's just so garbage, dude. Like, why can't I programmable money? Why can't I program like things to happen? Like, yeah, when the price goes here, buy. Why can't I do that? It's not for sale anywhere. Well, that seems like a good thing to build. Like, yeah, you know, like I would like a bot, like an eBay bot. You know, you bid on an auction on eBay. Like, hey, if there's a dump, buy it. Why isn't that a thing? There's so much stuff that needs to be built, and we can build it. You know, like,
yeah.
Why not us?
We were talking about it earlier. It just like goes to show how crap the whole space was. The fact that you could come out with PulseChain, you put your mind to this 4 or 5 months ago max, and public testnet's almost here. Launch is going to be in the next couple of months. It just
feels like luck to me. I can't believe that it like went that well. I just still don't get it. It's like,
I mean, like,
unbelievable.
Of course, like you're really, intelligent, really extraordinary, but like it also just goes to show like what the hell
it's about the team.
Yeah, like what has everyone else been doing? Like that's my question.
Yeah.
Like it's almost harder to have not created something functional at this point. It's almost harder to get a scam going.
Yeah, I don't
almost seems
know what people do with their
doesn't
time.
Yeah.
It almost seems intentional. Kind of odd, huh?
You know what it might be? You know what it might be? It might be like sudden wealth syndrome. I've been wealthy for 20 years. But these guys, they get the money and then they just lose their drive. And then they just go do drugs and do whatever. I don't know what they do, but they stop being productive. I've never stopped being productive. Like,
but what's the story?
My vacation looks like hard work. He still does stuff. He still writes.
That's what I'm saying. Posts. He does stuff, but he's underneath this. I mean, he had a big chance here to actually get in front of this thing on this. I mean, look, and he didn't.
Well, look, where's Satoshi? What's he doing? You know. Where's Dogecoin founder? He's literally telling everybody that crypto is a giant scam. It's the worst thing ever. Literally. Jackson Palmer, literally the founder of Doge, says those things. And you're like, it is a little weird.
Yep.
I don't know why stuff isn't better yet.
We're behind you. Whatever you're going to create, you've got an army of people behind you.
Thank you.
It is what it is. We're behind you, and we see the fire in you, and we see where your vision is.
I'm kicking ass. I really am. I really am actually kicking ass.
We're right behind you. We're right behind you and helping you kick ass.
That's the cool thing, Richard, is that know, we've been streaming for almost 2 years now. And everything that we've said, we've never had to take a stream down. We've never had to go back and say, oh, well, we were wrong. That really did this and really did that. We may have, not understood what we were talking about in the early days, but Hex has stood behind us like a solid wall. We've got the
keeps
backing
going up.
of it.
The average stake length keeps going up. And I don't actually know if that'll ever stop. So if people make layer 2 trading popular, where you make a big stake and then sell shares in it, then I imagine that the big stakes will just be 15-year stakes. And then I think that will shoot up the average stake length even higher. So, I mean, there's a future where I don't know that the average stake length will ever go down. I don't know.
No, I actually see it going to a point where we will only see people using it as a 15-year tool, and people are going to be waiting in line for Hex to come out to actually purchase. There's going to be no Hex.
It's pretty rare.
You'll see that grayscale sort of equivalent with a derivatives market or something like that.
Yeah,
that's actually trying to trade the shares.
I really want the derivatives to tie to spot. I don't want them to be real derivatives. I want them to tie to spot so that spot benefits and just these side games don't get rich. Like when people trade on BitMEX, do you think Bitcoin does any better? They don't. Those guys get rich and the coin doesn't really go up. I mean, maybe it goes up a little bit because they hold it just because they want to speculate on it. But that's not actually necessary to their business model at all. They could just take their crypto earnings and dump them like EOS did. I mean, I guess they dumped ETH and bought Bitcoin, but you can look at this launch and look at the Pulse sacrifice and look at all those stats, and it looks like everything's getting dumped but Hex. If you look at the address there. Now, I didn't look across all the chains, but on the Ethereum chain, it looks like whenever it gets coins, selling them for stable, but doesn't appear to be selling the Hex. No expectation of work from others.
From the work of others.
Sounds good. As long as somebody holds Hex, sounds great. Hex is
A lot
a
of
great
people
product.
holding.
Yeah, I got
A lot
some.
of people holding.
Thank you for inventing Hex. Hex is great. It's done a lot of good for a lot of people, and
Have you
we
seen
love
all the
the
stuff people are
T-shares.
buying? People are
Yeah.
buying a lot of stuff.
That
People
Hex
are
price
collecting
is
it.
crazy.
We've sold people
That's right.
sell millions of dollars. You know what? The one thing I don't understand, I don't understand Overwatch. Like I just followed them for the first time today because I looked and I'm like, there's no altcoins here. Fine. Been in Hex a long time. Been in there, you know, I'll follow him, add him to the Hex list. But I don't know his angles. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know why he would dox himself. I'm just guessing out of my butt here. I don't know if he's a Godwill or not. And I don't even know if the top address is at the actual Godwill. Like I haven't done the chain analysis on this stuff. My guess is that he wants to look awesome on the like Twitter to scare off other people from taking his number one spot. Like he's got extra capital. Like don't try and buy me out of it because I'll just rebuy kind of thing. Like a bluff. You know what I mean? Because also otherwise I don't know what his upside would be from going public. You know?
Well,
I
it looks
should
like
probably ask
nothing
him.
has changed. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like anything's changed on the leaderboard, so it's solid as what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Do you want me to ask
I'm just
him?
really weary. Like when I see people doing stuff that I don't exactly know why they're doing it, I watch out for angles, right? So either he's trying to scare people off from like taking his number one spot if he had it, or he was trying to get like more capital into something and then just saying that he had a lot of money and then that gave credit to the other thing. And I just watch out for these angles, right? So I don't know what's going on there.
He has a couple billion Hex from what I've heard. I don't know, but that's just what I heard.
Good for him. I hope he does. I mean, but I just look, we're in cryptocurrency to remove counterparty risk. And when people make statements to the effect that they all hold keys, when you make a statement that you hold some keys, I'm going to need a signature from you. Period. Otherwise, I'm going to have to assume you're lying. Period. So if you want to trade your anonymity for clout, you better get ready to sign. That's it. So I will not give anyone credit for saying that they got a lot of a thing, and if they don't want to sign for it, you know. So if people ask me, "Hey, Rich, you got a lot of crypto? What's crypto?" I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I'm not out there trying to put numbers up to my, you know, like. So if you're trying to put a number on you, you better be ready to sign if you want me to think it's real, because there's a lot of people who tell stories. I mean, that dude in Australia, Alex Saunders, he told a lot of people stories and sent their money right to FTX. Lost it.
Sure did.
Disgraceful.
That's pretty ballsy. That's
Chasing
pretty
these
ballsy
losses.
to scam
Chasing
right
these losses,
into your
yeah.
exchange wallet.
So Richard, let me ask you a question because I have an opinion on this, but I want to hear your thought because this whole situation just brings to light the whole reason as to why crypto was invented in a lot of ways as well. So until you actually said something, nobody else in the whole promise coin space actually said a damn thing. So everybody was out here getting scammed left and right, and it was like rainbows and fucking Lucky Charms and shit. It's crazy.
Yep.
So
I never thought I'd be part of a Me Too movement. It's weird. But the difference is I didn't get scammed. Everybody else did.
Right.
It's like this dude tried to sneak up me at night and try and get under my skirt. I put him down.
Yeah.
Everybody else let the dude ride.
Pretty much. Everybody else just stayed asleep or acted like they were asleep.
Exactly. Whistling. Tell me some more stories, Alex. Tell me another story. Let me send you some money. I love these stories. I've fallen for the give people money for stories thing before. I don't like it. You learn this the hard way. I've been scammed. I know what it's like. And it's like, oh, this is how that works now. Okay. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Another irony of your channel being taken down was I noticed that Alex Saunders' channel was still up that entire time. Of course. Right?
Of course. The scammers don't have any problem with getting banned. The scammers do just fine. It's the honest people.
The thing is,
problems.
right? A lot of people got your back, Richard, and I think that was evident in the fact that it actually, like, you know, we felt that, I felt that, and I know a lot of Hexicans felt that, and weren't happy about the fact that your channel went down. So, and I saw that there was a ton of support, the groundswell of support for you on Twitter, and you didn't really have to do much. It came back to like one of those
I gotta tell you, man,
YouTube algorithm things, you know.
I was happy that when I woke up,
you,
my channel wasn't still banned.
Yeah, man.
And I didn't have
glad
to
hear
beg
that you woke
an
up happy
email or
like
an
that.
AI. Yeah, well, that's on you guys. The Hexicans are the reason that came back to life, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So the reason I still have a channel, which I'm scared to use, I'm scared to use my channel. Really, I am. Because
so bad.
If the channel goes down, my self-help videos go down. Those just helps people stop gambling, stop drinking, stop playing games.
Exactly right. And we're living testament to that. Like, honestly, mate, you've helped a lot of people, and it's like when you see that happen, that kind of like it upset me. That affected me. The fact that your channel got taken down with the fact that you've got so much value in there, the fact that you've helped so many people, and the fact that what you're doing now and all those great things. I think I was just
I'm still raising money for charity now.
I know.
Everyone
donate
me
to the
after
Sense
this
Foundation.
is over.
Get in there.
Don't terminate me early. Like, let them get some more money. You know. You
had the same problem a year or two ago.
I expected it would just be done. Yeah, but you
started the Sci-Vive YouTube just to. I think you were just live streaming on there because you were finding that the live streams were flagging.
I forgot that I switched. Yeah,
it was a couple of years ago.
It kind of sucks that. Yeah, I'm afraid to use my channel.
Yeah.
Because I think you can get banned, and then one time it just doesn't come back.
Yeah.
So
I've seen it so many times.
You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll just use a different channel and then link to it from my community page, and it'll like advertise it. You know, it'll pop up at least.
I don't know, Richard, if I would be afraid to use it. I'd probably go ahead and use it and just watch everything you say, I guess. But then again, it's so terrible.
Work, man.
It's so terrible. I know.
It doesn't work. You never know.
I don't know.
I don't believe there's any way to prevent that random bot from getting you.
Yeah.
Because I thought about it. I'm like, hey, let's have a fun, happy stream. We'll just talk about flowers and ponies and puppies and stuff.
Right.
But I think it would still get me.
Yeah, I just see it as a ticking time bomb. Like, I think it's just a matter of time, and it's a reality we have to face.
Let me put it this way. I have a random account that I would just browse in my leisure. It got banned. And it never did nothing. It never streamed. I made like 4 comments like ever randomly. It got banned. So I don't know what they're doing over there, but like they're banning. Like Dave Rubin got banned off Twitter yesterday.
I don't want to say what
people
they
get
are.
banned left and right, man.
We know what they are. I don't want to say what they are, but we know what they are.
The lizard people? I don't know what you mean. You might know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
They're commies. They're just commies. That's what they are. They
the people banning everybody, you mean?
They want to shut everyone down. They want to shut free speech.
Oh.
They're just commies. Commies.
It's weird.
Pretty bad. It's getting pretty bad. What can we do? Like Wales was saying on his.
You got to do what the scammers do. To tell you the truth, is the only solution. Because you could try and pretend that you can go to your own like empty fishing. You can go to your own backyard swimming pool and try and fish in it, and pretend that that's cool. But ain't nobody in there. You ain't gonna get no bites unless that's a real old messed up pool that you can't swim in. If you actually have fish in your pool, there ain't no chlorine in there. You know. So yeah, man, we just do the best we can. I believe in us. I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Side channel communication.
100% do.
As long as we could all reach each other after everyone bans us, we're going to be all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll just buy our own platform here pretty soon.
Correct.
We're
Guys,
growing
I'm
in
heading
numbers.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, Richard. Thanks for
Richard.
coming.
Real, everybody.
That's
Thank
all
you.
right.
Talk to you soon.
Take care, Richard. It was
Thanks,
great
Richard.
to see you.
Thank you.
Later. Right on, right
Yeah,
on.
I just
that was a
figured out my
treat.
microphone.
Yeah.
There he
Thanks
is.
to Richard. Hey,
It's like
it's to Richard Hart.
It's like a
Wow.
double bonus. It's like a double bonus tonight. We got a live stream and we got personal time with Richard.
Yeah, that was a good one. It was a good night, even though everything was anticlimactic on the day 16. But yeah, it was
I mean,
nice
that's
having
what.
Richard.
Going back to the whole thing about Richard being afraid to use his YouTube, that's what we do not want him to do. We don't want him to self-censor himself, because then that's not Richard. And nobody's going to we don't want to see that. We don't want to see him freely be who he is and talk the way we have known for him to talk. When he starts self-censoring, the quality and all that stuff is going to diminish.
I agree. It's a good point.
That's definitely true. I think he's got a lot of factors to kind of weigh in his mind, because obviously he's worried about the history of the channel and being able to catch new fish as he talks about it. But I agree, like it's going to be a real decrease in quality if he has to be somebody else on the stream. And I think like this is it's a big problem. Like we need solutions.
Yeah. And speaking of stream, thank you everybody for coming and joining while Richard is here. Smash the likes, follow, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff. We got 370 people here. We don't ever get that many people, and I'm sure it's because Richard jumped on. So follow us. You want to hear some good content, hear about Pulse, hear about Hex. This is the OG Hexicans right here on Friday nights. Friday night hangout is for you. If you want to come in, we put the damn invite out there to whoever wants to come in. If you don't like us, all you little trolls in the chat room want to really come in and talk to us for real, come on in and hang out with us, and we can mix it up that way if you're man enough. So, but it's here for you. This is the community stream, and we've done everything we can to get banned. We've had sexually explicit pictures of horses, and we've had
those. Where were those?
Every type of language you can imagine. We've we've had people like Benny here like fall over drunk on stream.
Guilty, very guilty.
You name it, we've had it. We've tried to get kicked off, and we can't. So we're probably here to stay, and we appreciate all you, and thanks for the $5 there, Paladin YYZ. Appreciate the drop there. All right, so we are over the day 16. You can no longer, and I am actually surprised that the leaderboard sat where it is. And I think it is Overwatch is sitting on the top. Godwell is number 2. And then I don't know the rest of them. There's another one sitting there with 19 mil in it. And then I'm a little surprised that those that more whales didn't jump in. Maybe we're in for some fireworks here over the next 3 days. Who knows?
Well, I was interested to hear Richard make that statement about the last 3 days are more beneficial for smaller bag holders than the whales. I didn't know about that dynamic of the sacrifice.
It's about the math, and if you have about $600,000 US to enter into the sacrifice phase, then it would have been beneficial for you to get higher up on the board to make it matter versus the 1.75 auto that you're going to get here over the next 3 days. So the smaller guys that are holding Hex or anything else for that matter, I guess, if you're going to get a little more bang for your buck than if you tried to get in the last few days of the way out period there. Day 15, 16.
It's good to tell people that if you're under, what is it, like some kind of big amount of money, if you're under 200K, the best thing you can do is sacrifice right now, because we've already turned over. We're on day 17 right now. So if you're looking to sacrifice something, now is the time. Now is the day 17, and you're going to get that best amount you can get right now because it just ticked over.
Yep.
That's pretty much. Today is a day for me. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Today is the day. Yeah. So let's see where the Hex price takes us.
Hey guys, I got a low battery. I might drop out, guys. My battery's running a little bit low, so we're going to love yous and leave yous. Been a pleasure. Been great sitting in, having a chat. Well, there's plenty of stuff to keep kicking on with, and great to see you, everyone out there in the chat.
Take care of yourself, Unwrecked. Take care of yourself.
Boys and girls.
Don't hurt anybody. Don't hurt anybody out there.
See you, Unwrecked.
Cheers,
see you, bud.
See you, man.
So what's happening in King? How's it going?
Hey, Crypto King, man. How's it going, man?
What's up,
What's
King?
going on, guys?
It's
I knew
funny.
I had to jump on. I saw Richard came on, so I don't think I've been on stream with Richard before, so I just wanted to get in there, and I really wanted to talk about the whole thing when he was on about the censorship and YouTube and stuff, but yeah, maybe for another time. But I mean, I think we cannot be afraid to leave a platform and try something different that is working, and I know some of the Hexicans are going to try and test out some other platforms, but all the Hexicans will definitely follow Richard to a different platform. There's no doubt about it. Are we saying that we're not going to follow him somewhere else?
That's that. But you see, what you're talking about, King, is you're talking about our sounding board. And, you know, look, we actually brought a company on board to help us to make outreach, to funnel out, and to get out to the rest of the world what we've got. You know, we're internally, we've built a great community. We have the Hexicans all support one another. We all support each other's streams. That's a given. We do really, really well. And the company that came in and took a look at what we were doing said, man, you guys have done a phenomenal job internally. But your outreach is horrendous. You, Richard, everybody, our outreach is horrendous. And that's the game we got to play if we're going to get Hex and Pulse out to the masses. So, you know, just going over to another, you know, locking ourselves in another room and talking to one another isn't going to help what we're trying to do here. What we're trying to do here is get the message out to people who don't have the message, who haven't heard the message. And so that means that we have to play this silly ass game. And that means that we've got to figure out how to funnel out from here and how to do it, you know, within their parameters. Now, I understand everybody wants to be a fucking rebel. Everybody wants to do the right, you know, the thing that no, don't censor me, and this and that and the other. But when it comes down to it, you're at the mercy of the system. If you go hide in a room, you're not going to get your message out. And a lot of these platforms out there that we're streaming on, we just don't get the engagement. You know, yes, we get Hexicans will follow us, but we don't get the engagement from outside. You know,
right? But there's a way to utilize, and not in sense of live streams, but for those the Hexicans streamers that do recorded streams, they could do a small piece and say, "Hey, we're gonna start talking about this and that, but if you want to hear the rest of the story, go here," and then cut the feed on this platform.
And you nailed it, because that's exactly what the professional growth hackers told us, is that it's shorts. Getting shorts out there. Our content is good for the community, because the community likes to sit down and hang out with us and throw their headphones on and lay back in their bed, go mow the lawn, whatever it is that they're doing, and listen to our shit. But, you know, really the general public wants to see 3 to 5 minutes. They want it now. They want it fast. I mean, look who's got the most engagement out of all the Hexicans. Who is it? Well, it's Super Hex over on TikTok. Why? Because he puts out little short 1 minute deals and everybody's all over it. So he has more viewers than all of us put together.
Right.
And that's
he's a beast
because of how his content is.
He's a beast over there on TikTok.
Like for someone like Wales Only, he could say he has this fucking phenomenal chart that he's about to show everybody, but you want to see it, you got to go over here to see it. You know, something like that.
Sure thing. Whatever makes sense. I mean, look, you guys know my stance on all this shit. I've been the same since day one. So, you know, I understand the sounding board issue. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of people are being driven away from these sounding boards. Same thing for Twitter. Same thing for YouTube. It's just a fact. So we have to position ourselves in these other arenas and already be staked in that arena.
Yeah.
We can't wait until it's already until we're getting banned left and right. That's piss poor management. So we got to get ahead of that and be proactive in that sense. We don't need to wait for Richard. He'll fucking catch up. We just need to be there because he's busy saving the fucking crypto space. So we can do the rest of the bullshit that he doesn't need to worry about. That's easy. And we already are on top of that shit. So that's fine.
Yeah, we're streaming to lots of different platforms. We're out there. We've got Odyssey and library, all that stuff. You know, Twitch, the whole thing, and even DTube, which a lot of people don't even know about, but we put content up on DTube. So I mean, we're reaching out. We're just not sending community there because that's just not where the eyes are, and this is where the eyes are. So it will become what it becomes. And I've said this before that maybe it's not our community that actually goes viral and gets the word out. There may be another streamer that actually grabs this and gets the community, that gets the outside numbers rolling in. It's quite possible. Like I said, we might just be a piece of history and fade off into the fucking sunset one day. and it's historical what we've done. I would like to see it advance and move out. But we'll see what happens. The book hasn't been completely written yet. It hasn't been completely written yet, and we're still fighting. We're still fighting.
I think sometimes in these situations as well, it's like it's not always necessarily the really direct route that ends up making the difference. Like, of course, like the core community and having backup on other platforms is intrinsic to what's going to happen. That's like a given. But it may be that, there's somebody who starts to build an audience in like something that's even a little bit unrelated or outside of crypto. Maybe there's somebody who's, really big in health or really big in music or really big in some other area. And they're just a low-key Hexican. And, every now and then they pop up, something about Hex, or they wear a Hex t-shirt, and people just like inadvertently get exposure that way without it being like a full frontal kind of here's Hex, like kind of thing. Like that stuff, I think, can be a little bit underrated as well. Like almost like having a little bit of a mole, you know what I mean? Like in enemy territory that can sometimes make a bit of a difference as well, I feel.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a pump going on.
And I don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing 12.26 cents, which is a little down. I mean, we're up from the low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it tapped 10 cents today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I missed it too.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I set my order.
I think what we're doing is great. We need to just continue pushing. Continue pushing and don't stop. Stopping is the problem. We can't stop. We got to keep pushing.
Yeah, well, look, I talk about this all the time. We see what's going on, right? So it's literally not an option because people have literally nothing else to do. Like, what the fuck else you got to do? Oh, you got money now? Good for you. Good luck trying to use it when your ass is locked down and fucking home just because you can breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you can get all the money you motherfucking want. The question is, what are you gonna be able to do with it once you're on the other side? And the answer is not a motherfucking thing, because you can't, because they're not letting you. So the question is, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Because that's the answer. That's the actual answer. Whether you want to hear it or not is irrelevant. That's the actual answer, because money isn't an actual solution. Sorry, but that's just a fact. Look at the steps that Mr. Hart is taking. He's not fucking doing it for fun. Don't be a fool. This shit is not going to be for free. The hard work is only beginning. I'm sorry.
No, that's right, man. I totally agree.
Is Blitzkrieg there? What's up, Blitzkrieg?
Hey.
What's going on, Blitz?
How you doing?
Good. How's it going, fellas?
What's on your mind?
Blaze, sorry, I didn't mean to excuse you too.
Oh no, that's totally okay. Lovely to meet you.
So what do we think about this ridiculous legislation? I mean, who's going to be able to use it?
Look, that shit is never going to get passed.
That's what I think too. Yeah. I mean,
it's
ridiculous.
That's fun, really. That's all.
It's just fun. Yeah. It's just fun.
Look, I agree. You guys got to understand, right? The internet doesn't give a crap about paper. I'm sorry. So they can write up whatever they want. Good luck to them trying to enforce that shit. All I can do is laugh.
Yeah.
Like, once you understand how the mechanics of this situation works, there is no reason to be concerned. They can write to their heart's content.
Well said.
And let them write them long and hard, as many characters as they need, as they see fit. It won't change a thing. It won't change. I can get poetic too. You know?
They've been trying for 10 years. You know,
exactly.
It's not going to work. It's a futile attempt to try and FUD again. You know.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, they can try a little hard.
I'm losing my steam. I'm going to bed. Y'all have a good one.
Peace out.
All right.
Yeah, I made peace out here as well, guys. It was great chatting with you all, and I'll see you again soon.
Take care, guys.
Thanks for coming and visiting.
Thanks, man. See ya.
Bye.
All right, gentlemen. Well, it is time.
You're calling it too, huh, Pirate?
We're 3 hours and 42 minutes in. You guys can hang out in the green room and chat. So we had Richard. It was a great night, and we're going to call it. I appreciate all you coming on, hanging out in the FN Hangout. We'll be back on Monday, and of course, all the other streamers. You know, you go to DiscourseSyndicateNetwork.com, and you can see everybody's times when they're streaming and whatnot. So. Hammer the subscribe and all that, so we can keep the YouTube algorithms going. Maybe they won't kick us off. I don't know.
Hey, let me say one more thing. Like Richard said, do not be afraid to email these networks or these streamers, podcasts, because you'd be surprised. You do get responses once in a while. So don't be afraid, especially use the message that, the accomplishments that Richard's had with the PulseChain sacrifice phase. That's going to get the attention, and you'll be surprised. You get the responses.
The sends thing is a big deal. We should be using that. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Good night.
Freaking
have a good night,
you
guys.
get everything you guys all want out of the sack.
Later.